evening, everybody! We are somewhat diminished.
I know.
And
it's coming for you too.
a somewhat diminished die rolling this evening. But there's four of us, and that's enough
Oh yeah.
to have a seriously entertaining adventure. How likely is that? There's a chance.
There's a chance.
There is
None
a
of the
chance.
rule bearers are here this week.
Thank you for joining us. Let's go to the intro.
Hello, boys. Pink lemonade?
Mom! And we're back.
Oh.
Hello.
We're back.
So, dear sweet Malkin is currently unwell. So we wish you a speedy recovery, Malkin.
good.
In your token.
But in this world,
I don't know what I'm doing.
he's far from unwell, as you see him
That's dice.
disappearing into the distance
That's
with
me.
the two.
I'm
Oh,
disappearing
shit.
into the distance. I
Oh.
forgot my dice.
You see Malcolm disappearing
Well,
into the
professional
distance
outfit.
with the two dark-haired maidens that you'd seen previously,
No.
with a glisten
No.
and a glint in his eye. He gave you a knowing nod and a smile.
He was
And-
definitely,
Thanks, Lauren.
in the mood
Oh yeah.
last week.
In the mood to cruise.
So somewhat abruptly, your party, which was four, has reduced
We've
to
seen him
three.
go, though. We're not worried about
No,
it.
you've seen him go. He's
Yeah.
giving you an indication.
He's in
everything's
mortal
fine.
peril. The peril is too great, Malkin.
I reckon Malcolm loves a babushka. You know, like a Russian nana. I reckon. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like
No, I
that. You
don't.
know that like the
I
little
don't.
bonnet.
I don't.
Ooh, a babushka. Yeah. Malcolm's definitely into them.
Oh no.
Last
I have a
week,
babushka.
you had an encounter with a field of
Birds.
spectacled wrens, to be precise,
Spectacled wrens. Yeah.
being processed, shall we say, in the field.
Into nuggets, I
Fighting
heard.
The nuggets, yeah.
Whilst Zolan and Malkin, you were conversing with some of the locals, notably the Biddy,
Yes.
who was the wood elf character that
Who is-
greeted you.
Yeah, it's the bunny boiler. It's the bait.
We left the last episode. You were setting off towards the Razna hill at the far side of the ranch farmstead, and yes, and Malcolm has turned and departed quite suddenly.
What a scoundrel.
Scoundrel.
If you're watching Malcolm cursing under his breath. So, unless your mind has changed in the preceding few moments, are we still heading in that direction?
Yeah, I think so.
Why not?
I reckon.
We've
Why
lost
not?
all
Unless you have
leadership
been
now,
tempted
so...
by some babushkas.
No babushkas for me.
I like how the only people who are left are the chaotic entities. This can only go well. Malcolm, we've sold everything we own, and now we're part of a travelling band.
Okay.
Everything I own is low on battery, which is why you'll see me jiving around with
Go to every
because I don't have the
device.
necessary cables I require.
No.
This laptop is dead. My phone's going to die. It's the only access I've got to my character sheet. We're just going to do it live.
Well, fortunately,
I'll
the
remember
ultimate table of gaming.
Comes with
Other-
only USB chargers, and I need a USB-C.
The,
We're going to have to update
Was that
the table.
C?
we need new
Is
table.
that C
No,
or is that?
it's a Mac Lightning thing.
Ah, so
but
it's not
the
C.
other side I've got is a USB-C.
Oh.
But anyway, this is very boring to you, but it's the kind of thing that gets
Savage.
nerds very interested, I'm sure. People will be watching just for this segment. You
Oh,
know.
definitely,
Oh,
yeah.
I think you'll find you've got the wrong cable.
Tech talk with die rolling. Lovely.
So walking down towards the end of Rasna you reach this slope, and it rises quite abruptly. This isn't a gradual hill. This is quite a somewhat flat terrain of the ranch, and then suddenly a fairly steep mound of a hill. Not the highest hill, but very distinct, up like a upturned bowl in the landscape. And if you recall, on this hillside were these creatures which Malkin believed to be hill maddocks. These large, kind of 7 or 8 foot tall. As you're closer, you can start to size them up a little bit better. For want of a better description, maggot-like creatures.
Are these disgusting to the average citizen of Asher? Are they like a maggot to us? Ugh. Or are they...
I mean, how revulsed are you feeling?
I don't know.
How common are
Have
they?
they got ginormous like maggot faces, or have they got like a nice, like a Colin the Caterpillar face, like a nice smile at the end?
That'd be more terrifying.
Do you think?
So you can
Rampaging across the countryside, gigantic Colin the Caterpillar.
you can approach up a little closer to one. 'Cause
No,
you're
Still get
getting-
swallowed by his lovely caterpillar face.
If you want to sort of look at them in a bit more detail, you should be a little bit closer than you are. You're welcome
Yeah.
to go a little bit closer if you would like to.
If the DM resorts back to sphincters again, we've had enough sphincters in this campaign.
Oh
already.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No more sphincters.
No, thank you.
I was away for that episode.
Do you
Or I
remember that?
mentally blocked it out.
So you're going to keep a bit of a distance.
Oh, about 10 foot, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Then-
that's
then
fine.
I'll
You can
make
get
them-
up. You can get
Yeah.
well up closer. Of note, as you get a little closer, it's somewhat later in the afternoon now. We're approaching early evening now at this time. The sun's starting. The sky's getting a little darker. The sun's looking to set a little. You realise, they very much look like gigantic, great maggot creatures. They're quite upright. So they're not lying flat along the ground. The back portion of them is on the ground, but most of them is vertical.
No, that's weird.
Yeah. They are almost like they're stood upright, but they've obviously got no feet or anything. They're just this sliding, quite bulbous body. It's sort of not a flat, smooth maggot. It's quite a lot of folds, like quite a foldy maggot. Sort of a pale, whitey, yellowy colour. They've got these kind of like spines that almost act as like a skirt around what you'd guess would be about a waist of a creature normally. It looks like this skirt of fairly long, maybe 1.5 foot spines that form, and it looks kind of like a hula skirt.
So I was immediately thinking.
Around the way, the same colour. It's clearly part of it. It's not an item of clothing.
Still got a coconut bra as well.
They've actually, as you study them a bit closer, and you've not really seen these before. Malcolm was the only one that really recognised them when he looked previously. They've actually got faces, so unlike what I don't know, you might imagine them. They have almost somewhat humanish faces. I mean, they're not human. They're clearly not human, but they've got very similar type noses to a human-style nose, which is quite unusual as you approach them. And they've got these big, thick, quite large, kind of cauliflower sticking out ears. Great big, almost Ferengi style ears on the side of their faces. They big, quite stupid looking eyes. Just in the way the pupils are arranged, they're sort of they don't strike you as intelligent creatures. Maybe looks can be deceiving, and they're quite intimidating. Obviously, 3 times the size of you, Zolan. So they're great big creatures, sort of looming above you, moving very, very slowly. They don't look particularly hostile per se. They're sort of grazing on this hill, and they're free
Three
to roam.
times the size of Zolan. So you're talking like a cow kind of size.
But more vertically.
More vertically.
Yeah,
Vertical cow.
yeah, they're maybe
Usual cow.
they're only they're maybe
Okay.
2 or 3 foot across, 8 foot tall probably you'd estimate
Okay.
mostly.
You say they're moving slowly,
They're moving slowly.
as in like
Yeah.
Oh, I was expecting like a,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, they seem to have quite a lot of dexterity in the rear half of their
Don't we all?
torso, or whatever part of the body that is. There also, as you bring more of this area into your view, there seem to be one or two farm hands sort of working around the area. Some of them look to be looking after the grass in the area, and there's definitely one or two that are particularly, in some fashion, working on these creatures. They're working in and around their folds. They're sort of, whether they're cleaning them or whatever they're doing, but there's a few farmhands that are sort of working these creatures. And there are also the only other couple of things of note here. There's a small looks like iron hut or shack somewhere in the middle of this hillside, quite small, that just is the only structure of sorts here. And there's also quite a lot of free roaming chickens. A few. Yes, there are some standard birds in this world. There are a couple of free roaming chickens in the area, which are just allowed to roam much more freely than the birds in the other pen. There's a fence atop the hill which seems to back onto some kind of a woodland or something like that.
Delicious.
Who are we looking for again? Who's the leader of this?
I can't remember, you know.
No,
Feels like it was an age ago.
It does feel like
Her name was Basualt,
Basualt.
as it was only about a minute ago in game time.
Suddenly forgotten.
Yeah. Oh.
Was you there? Farm urchin.
Hello.
We're looking for. I've already forgotten. Basualt.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Is she about?
You half elf, are you?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Why does that matter?
Of course.
Good to know.
Yeah. I'm an elf.
Oh, you really? Good to know. Male, it sounds like as well. Hard to tell with your sword.
I am not no man. I'm a woman.
Oh, right. Apologies.
Now of note, he looks quite a lot. He's got a lot of male characteristics, typically male characteristics. A somewhat quite a sharp face, almost a little bit rodenty in his expression. A short, very scruffy mop of brown hair that flings a little bit to the side. He's wearing this sort of all orange commoner's clothes, nothing fancy. He's covered in. He's quite greasy. I say he. He announced himself as a woman. She's quite greasy. She is clearly in some way working these creatures and doesn't. It's taken an instant disliking to you, is your sense.
That's not uncommon.
Just give off the wrong vibes as he goes the first time.
I just don't like the countryside.
That's fair enough, to be honest.
It's dirty and surrounded by dirty people.
You an elf?
I am an elf. I'm a wood elf. I love the countryside. I'm covered in dirt. I'm a dirty people. My friend's only joking here.
A little bit.
Don't know why you associate yourself with this lot.
I think it's fate. More than anything.
Brings you all the way up here.
I don't even know. I was just checking out your spectacle wrens. Trying to get them some freer range accommodation, much like your lovely chickens here.
You like chickens, do you?
Well, I like all animals, even these giant maggots.
Yeah, they're hill maddocks.
Hill maddocks, yeah. Our friend used to farm them, apparently.
All right, yeah. Where was that?
Wherever Malcolm's from.
Wick.
Wick.
A wick, of course, yes.
Oh yeah. Did you chicken chuck? He's specifically addressing Thorin here.
That sounds like a game.
He hasn't even looked you in the eye
Sounds
once.
like a side
Yeah.
game.
This is scragging too.
I've never chicken chucked.
Do you want a chuck?
What does it entail? Do the chickens like it?
Be careful, Thoramir. He might be offering you drugs.
Yeah, the winner does.
The
What was
winner, the winner chicken.
I was looking for a good chuck.
I feel like our friend Zolan here, he is good at games.
Malkin's normally up for a good chuck.
You know, yeah.
In fact, this might be where he is right now.
You wouldn't be any good at chicken chucking
Well,
because she's so small.
what is chicken chucking?
What is chicken? Do you want to tell him?
Well,
We're just chucking a
I
chicken.
mean, I assume what we're going to do is we're going to go take a chicken
Oh, yeah.
and then we're going to chuck it some food.
Mmm.
So it
How
has a lovely
wholesome.
time.
Yeah,
Whoever
yeah.
feeds this chicken the nicest wins. And then
Chicken
they're
chucking.
happy, right? The winner is happy.
No.
I've already started. Got some rations I'm throwing at mine.
What are the rules to chicken chucking?
Stand a maddock's length from a maddock, chuck 3 chickens over it. Furthest chicken landing wins, chicken can't be dead.
Chicken can't be dead. Whoever's chicken lands.
The furthest. It can't be dead.
Stand a maddock's length from a maddock,
Yeah.
chuck 3 chickens over it.
Over it.
Furthest chicken landing wins, chicken can't be dead.
Sounds complex.
Yeah. Is it only throwing by the arm? Can I kick a chicken?
No.
You can't kick a chicken.
No, I can't kick a chicken. Just wanted to make sure.
Chicken chuck.
Well, I actually have chucked a chicken
Have you?
out of a pit in the forest before.
Oh,
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, you're on number 1 spot.
Yeah.
I'm sharking him.
Oh,
No,
I
wait,
see.
is this how you're supposed to do it?
Yeah, that's how you do it.
This is the wrong way around, isn't it? I have never chucked a chicken before. I'll be terrible at this game.
Alright.
what are you wagering?
Yeah.
Well, I might talk to you a bit.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
game, innit? Chicken chucking. My favourite game.
Do you get to play with many people?
No.
Do you often shirk your responsibilities to throw livestock around?
Don't get to play chicken chucking.
Why not?
Well, no one wants to play.
Yeah. So it's not so much a game as something you do on your own.
Yeah.
Rather strange.
Oh.
Are you going to play?
Yeah, we're going to play.
Battle music! We've unlocked the minigame.
Is it called War?
Soundtrack.
The soundtrack that you chose.
It's the chicken chucking anthem.
War.
It's a very intense game.
Right, choose your chicken.
Well, I've
So
already-
there are a number of chickens around. There's
Can
you
we
know,
have stats for each one?
Yeah.
the chickens might have stats. There's a variety of chickens. The main distinguishing factor is there's some particularly plump ones, some sort of normal looking ones, and some particularly scrawny looking ones.
Wow.
Um,
Aerodynamic.
so choose chicken.
More likely to survive
Yeah.
low distance.
Thorinir is not strong.
Maybe he'd be dexterous. Who
But he's
knows?
so agile and he's got great animal handling.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the pointiest arrow-like one.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay, so
Java
the sort of that'd probably be at the scrawnier end of the
Yeah.
chickens. So there look to be some that are clearly less fed than the others. All right. Stand a maddock's length from a maddock. Do you want me to go first?
Which chicken does he choose?
So
Sheldon's going to be watching him deliberately
Yeah.
to see his chicken game.
he bends down Lorelei. He picks up Lorelei.
Yeah.
And this is a sort of brown hen. Looks somewhat, in the medium range of the chickens. Looks like a pretty bog standard chicken as
Like
far
a
as I'm
bantam
concerned.
chicken, specifically?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I presume you've done your chicken research, because I will be checking.
Yeah. There's a few. Lorelei's a bantam.
Yeah, okay.
All right. And even though he tells you this is one of his favourite things, he was particularly depressed still and unhappy. He walks across to the nearest maddock, and he goes right up to it, touches it on one of the rolls, chicken in one hand by the neck, and then steps backwards while looking at it and clearly trying to measure the correct distance away from the maddock. Maddock's length away from a maddock, which you estimate to be 8 feet. And whoop. He throws.
It wasn't very energetic, that. It was such a high stakes competition.
No, he's not particularly
Just
energetic.
kind of, yeah.
And he is going to throw the chicken.
Is this a he?
He or she.
God, I'm going to have to find out.
It's like, yeah, he or she.
Got to find out. If there's men in this village and I find out everyone's been lying to me that there's no men in the village.
Right.
The biddy's getting it. Not Danny, not getting it. Getting it!
Dear.
Oh, write the scores down.
Oh. There's some quick maths involved. Let me consult my abacus. Serious.
Got the stat sheet out.
I've activated 3 special rules.
Who did I give the potion of levitation to?
Oh yeah.
God, you could put it in the chicken, it would just go.
So he throws.
Got a plan, right?
Or what's the range in your summon animals? You could just summon a
Well, I was
chicken very far
wondering
away.
if Chicken Thornier makes an appearance.
Nice.
Mate,
And somebody else could throw you.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I don't know if it'd be any better, but he's got some tricks anyway.
So they throw the chicken. Whoop. That is the 11 of energy, and just sails fairly close to the top of the maddock's head, and lands just the other side of the maddock. He steps round, alive, and
Sheldon will confirm.
yeah, he goes, and you can go around, and there's a small patch of feathers where the chicken has landed, just 2 or 3 there, as a kind of, and he uses them as a marker. He picks one up, places it in the ground, and that's his marker. And the chicken looks quite,
Very good.
it's riled, slightly dazed.
Poor Lorelei.
Looks visibly bothered.
Oh, yeah.
Visibly bothered.
Chicken botherer.
Right, who's up?
From there.
Stand a maddock's length away from a maddock.
Stepping back.
And this is the scrawny, arrow-like chicken that you
This is
selected.
Calipec.
Calipec.
Calipec the chicken.
How far do you want to throw it? So you can try and throw it. So your normal throwing distance is 20 feet. You can go past that with disadvantage. How far do you want to aim? So it looks like this one has landed round about, you'd estimate about 20 feet from your current standing position, and it's alive. So that's the marker.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask the chicken if it's played this game before.
Okay. No.
How far do you think I could throw you?
And you sort of squawking, clucking. What's he doing? I don't know.
I'm going to go for to match our friends.
Okay, so you're aiming for 20 feet, so on the nose to try and land it exactly where the other one is. Okay, no problem. I've completely made a mistake there. That's not true. That is not true. It landed.
It's just the other side. So it's 8.
Yeah, it's just the other
8
side.
feet.
So it's around about 10 feet.
10
It's
feet.
just the other side of it. Apologies.
So 20 feet would do it. You'd be the victor. For
So,
sure.
yeah.
Well, it's throw 3 chickens, right? So
Oh,
it's just getting a banker in, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm still just going to go
Just slightly,
just slightly ahead.
maybe like 12 feet.
Are we allowed to hit the maggot?
No.
It's got to be over it.
Okay.
Can't skim the top.
You can skim the top,
Oh, you can skim the top.
but if it's the front, it'll come and land this side.
Oh, so you can't land this side. I'm going.
You don't want it if you can't. This side doesn't count.
They look quite bouncy.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm going for 12.
Okay, 12 feet. So if you can give me your athletics roll, please.
Ooh. Coming up a lot,
You've
the
got some
athletics,
good
Jack.
athletics rolls.
And what's your his was kind of a sideways fling. Are you kind of what's your throwing style?
Which is going to be... So I've got a natural one.
Oh no.
So you decide, I guess. He was going to go for, like, almost like just a chest pass. Like a very slow, almost like... So the chicken would go up and almost just like catch the air. He was planning to just get the wind and just let it drift, basically.
Yeah, one doesn't sound like it's going to do that, does it? Well, what's your athletics roll?
I don't have
Sorry,
any
what's your
athletics.
your athletics?
Ooh.
0, is it?
0. Yeah, it was a 1,
Yeah.
1, 0.
Okay.
But strength, athletics.
Oh, no.
It should be to do with
Dexterity.
perception.
Yeah.
I perceive myself as strong,
Mm.
so maybe Thorinir gets to switch.
Perception based throwing.
Okay.
I'm going to
Turn into a gorilla.
charm person on DM.
You can charm person.
Not gonna
No.
charm person. That's never
Okay.
worked ever.
No.
It never really worked. It gets you into
Um,
more trouble.
Okay, so there's a complex table going on behind the scenes. This isn't just all happening on the fly. So as you throw Calipec,
You know when we missed these 3 sessions, is that what you've been planning?
yeah, that's
You haven't been doing any further writing, you've been planning the chicken
the
table.
chicken
Mini
chuck.
game.
Chicken chuck. So as you throw Calipec up in the do the chest pass, it instantly starts trying to flap its wings, and for whatever reason it heads behind you and flies backwards, and it lands so awkwardly on its kind of neck upside down that the chicken's dead.
Ah,
It's dead.
I mean,
Wrong way.
he is heartbroken, but he could see that that chicken was gonna die today.
Bit of euthanasia, was it?
Yeah.
yeah.
We're trying to give it one last hurrah, to be honest.
It's on its last legs.
Out in a blaze
So-
of glory.
I'm going to tuck the chicken into my belt.
Yeah,
You mind?
Go ahead.
for breathing.
Because
Yeah.
no one wants to waste that. Those chicken legs would be great in a little broth. But
Yeah, obviously. They're eat chicken. Grabs another one. Not dissimilar, fairly similar body type. Olwyn. Picks up Olwyn and heads to the position. Whoop.
Such effort.
And so it sails into the air.
If you've got like wind speed, then
It's quite a bit going on.
yeah.
I will publish the rules to chicken chucking.
He's
Gravity.
simulating
On
the
Twitter.
graphics.
Yeah, I will. Okay. So.
Start the World Championships. Wait until we go and see the Osai. We're gonna introduce
Oh
them to
my
this game.
days, they'll be throwing 4 chickens at once.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to get there. We're going to be in this village for the next 3 months, I
Well,
think.
one of us is getting baked into a pie.
Yeah,
He-
that's true. Malcolm right now.
Malcolm's being baked into a pie.
The babushka's got him.
He throws the chicken. It lands slightly further, kind of almost exactly where Thorinir was aiming for previously. Around about 13 feet. Looks around the Maddock, walks around, alive.
Is it alive?
Brings it back around. It's alive. Again, unwell.
Oh. Was it an unwell chicken that he started with? Or is this made a healthy chicken?
It looked
Unwell
fine
chicken?
before the throw, and now less well. Because, this thing went 26 feet into the air.
Yeah.
and landed
Behind.
at a reasonable pace. It
Oh,
didn't
good
attempt to
throw,
fly.
really.
Didn't attempt to fly much.
Blimey.
Just sort of landed like a sack of potatoes.
It's a very barbaric game, this. What's your name?
Fallow.
Fallow.
5.
Right.
Stand a Maddox length away from the Maddox.
I've got to pick a chicken, right? Or am I throwing a dead one?
Has to be alive.
Alright, well,
To
I'm
win
going
the game.
to put the call out to all these chickens. Like, who here likes this game?
One of them says, "Me!"
You played before.
Yeah.
You think you could take it? I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah. Padding.
Plenty of padding on you. How far can you go?
Not far.
Right.
This is a larger chicken. This one. It looks quite good meaty chicken here. Whether it's feathers or meat, it's considerably more sizable than your previous chicken.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
Instruct it, and I'm gonna say, featherball. Limbs and head inside the carriage.
Yeah. Give me an animal handling, actually. Give me that.
Shoot for the 3.
It is 22.
I'm feeling 22.
Okay. So it does as you ask. I'll give you advantage on the throw,
Nice.
Yes.
depending on your distance, basically.
Okay.
And how far do you want to throw?
I would like to throw 50.
15 feet.
50.
Okay. You estimate the leading chicken at the moment is about 13 feet away.
Is it where they land like a long jump, or where it ends up like I don't know, discus? No. That's
No.
where it lands as well, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
you couldn't actually see where any of them landed because they're in the Maddox, a fairly broad creature, and Fallow's chickens were obscured into its landing, so you would never
Gee.
know where it landed, only where it ended up. So,
Okay. Well, yeah. All right.
so again, 15 feet.
And I'm just going to tell this chicken, stay rolled when you land. You know,
Sure.
land and roll. You're gonna survive better that way.
Parkour.
What's this chicken's name?
This is Bullak.
Good old spot. My name's Bolak.
So you're going 15 feet. Give me an athletics roll.
Bugger.
With advantage. Oh, did you get advantage?
Advantage.
What did you say?
With advantage.
Yeah, because of you got.
Oh, that's not bad.
Good job, you had the advantage.
18.
18.
Chicken's gone. Just a twinkle in the sky.
And again, I'm
Team
going,
Rocket.
I'm going this time for more of a I don't know, like a volleyball sort of lob, to try and again bounce off the top, to break the impact a little bit, and make it a little more like length than height.
Sure.
It's more skimming, basically.
Okay.
Skimming chicken.
As it lands, can you roll me a d6, please?
Oh no. Oh no, no, no.
First one just died instantly on a natural one.
Yeah.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
You
scary.
know, it's a dirt.
So you audibly hear the landing, and as he sort of slowly walks around, if you're walking around as well, alive,
Hey.
and it is a dead heat with the leading chicken.
Very good.
Dead heat.
Bloody marvellous.
I'm going to step around the back this time to just inspect that he's not cheating. 'Cause we haven't seen anything yet.
True.
Sure. Yeah.
You
No
just be
problem.
plucking a day
Yeah,
on
I'm gonna
chicken,
go-
wouldn't it?
Just stand wide. Don't watch the throw.
Sure. No problem. He doesn't seem to stop you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Or she.
I wouldn't let her.
Now he too.
Karate chop.
All right. goes to pick up an equally rotund chicken. Cracks his knuckles.
Desperately trying to think of where I can cheat. That's quite hard to cheat at. I wonder if I can kill it before it can get around.
He's throwing it right now, so you better act fast.
I can give you the potion of levitation.
I think that might be.
It might be a bit obvious if I shoot it with a crossbow and it lands.
It won't just keep going. It will just slowly arc.
As he
It'll be a world record.
as he throws it, it's clearly heavier than the last one, and he loses his grip as he attempts to throw it. Whoop, whoop! And it goes about 5 foot in front of him and just drops sort of harmlessly down to the ground. Oh, I didn't count. Owen didn't count.
Didn't count?
Owen didn't count.
What do you mean it didn't count?
What do you? I didn't count.
But my friend went
I dropped
backwards,
it. I dropped it.
and he
Yeah,
dropped
you tried
it.
to throw it.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
What are you putting on the line? You got any money?
It's really cross.
For
No.
for a fee, I'll let you throw. Oh, well, I said I ain't got any money. You got any information?
Like drained. Yeah. Go on.
Oh.
On a level pegging right now.
Yeah.
I think you should let him win. I think he's more used to us.
I don't
Well, I don't know if he prefers to win.
He's very depressed. I don't think
He
he's going to.
is.
Stilton's going to take a good hard look at him,
Hmm.
make an assessment of whether we'd be more talkative if we win or if we lose.
Sure. If you want to give me an insight roll.
I'll do just that.
I think I'll aid because I'm thinking the same
No.
things. I'll give you advantage while you do that because I'm thinking the same.
You want insight or what's the other one? Oh, it is insight. Isn't it? I'm just going mad.
Was it our second throw? It was a great throw though.
That's a great.
Good throw that was.
It was a good thing.
Natural 20.
Oh!
We got it.
Natural 20. He's looking at you a little bit, and he's looking at Zolan a little bit. He wasn't doing that before. Whereas before he had this ego over non-elves, presumably. He's been bashed down and looks more amenable to intimidation than he was before.
God, you're pretty frightening, I reckon, if you want to be.
Nice. Okay. In which case, we can win or lose. I can cripple him out of the way.
Alright. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a chicken. This one's called Ensanimo.
Ensanimo. It's part Native American and part Japanese.
Love it.
And what size chicken are we talking here?
This chicken is just your average Ensanimo size
Yeah.
chicken.
So
Just
yeah.
your
Standard.
average
average.
Ensanimo.
Normal
Yeah.
kind of Ensanimo, yeah.
The average Joe
Yeah.
of the chicken world. Basically.
Yeah.
And I'm going to really wind up for this one. Going to be on 3. I'm going to count these 1, 2. Then I'm going to just pop it down like it fell out of my hand. Like
Alive. It's a draw.
Call it a draw.
Well done. Did
I
really
don't know if
well.
I like that game, but very well played.
Thanks.
Did you invent that game?
Yes.
Nice. Where did you play it back home? It's always been your home.
Yeah, this was my favourite game.
At home?
But I've never lost it before. Oh, yeah.
Have you ever played another opponent before?
Well, once or twice, yeah.
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 Well, you're a fine champion, sir.
The secret's you got to get a fat chicken.
More likely to survive the impact.
Yeah, the scrawny ones, they just die every time.
Every time.
And if you go over 20 feet, that thing's dead regardless of size.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a good throw. Elf.
He's good, isn't he?
Should have played you, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
I wouldn't have stood a chance. LMO. You're not LMO. Fallon?
Fallow.
Fallow.
Well done.
So what do we need to know about this area? What can you tell us?
What you want to know, like, is I'm just living to survive, really.
Did you say it's the same for everyone else here?
Well, I guess so. Yeah, I'd say so. Apart from Bessualt and like all the richer ones.
Where do they get their money from?
From like the money from Equa.
Oh, they get money from Ecuador there.
Or from
family
selling
now,
all
or?
the flipping birds.
Yeah.
Not
Selling
the
the
chickens.
nuggets.
Yeah, they're gross. They're not very tasty.
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't see a lot of that money, presumably?
No, the godforsaken humans are driving down all our money and all our profits, and used to be able to sell a chicken for a decent price, and now, like, then the humans come and they take away all our like profits and things for the humans.
Why don't you drive up demand for nuggets? I know a way you could do that.
Right.
Release all of the spectacle wrens.
That is true.
Does sound like
Why?
a sound plan.
Why is that very helpful?
And then the few that you kind of have left, or these chickens here, are going to be hot price. They're going to live a good life, good conditions, and then at the end of their days, when they're at their absolute tastiest, they're going to be sold for a great profit.
Great.
No waste.
Well, maybe you've got to talk to Bassualt about that. That sounds beyond my pay grade.
You just take your opening a gate, all the gates.
I hate that woman.
What has she done to you for you to hate her?
Feidenreich I'm talking about.
Oh, fine, I'm at Fiden, right? Yeah.
She wouldn't like it very much.
Why do you hate her?
Because she's human, isn't she?
Oh, I
Spits
see.
on the ground.
I see.
Ruining everything for ourselves, she is.
What do you think of gnomes?
Well, I don't know. Funny lot, really, aren't you?
That's fair
You make the weird machines that keeps us all alive, don't you? So there's something. I guess. I'll just look after the old medics.
What do you do when you go delving in those flaps? What are you up to?
We get the lard.
Oh, what for cooking?
Yeah, for cooking. Some people use it to rub on your body to keep warm.
Oh,
Some people say it like heals you.
is it?
Heels?
Some people say that, yeah.
Can I try?
Alright.
I'm going to rub it on the chicken that got injured.
Yeah, so if you sort of go up to it,
It's
quite a heavy- quite heavy and warm, big, quite heavy flap.
A meat bucket.
And as you sort of go in there, there's a massive quantity of this. Think of like a set, like cooking lard or something. It's been you've cooked with it and then it's set afterwards. And
Scoop it out.
you can apply. Oh, thank you. You can apply the. That's very kind.
You.
Very
I think
kind.
that one's for me, actually.
You can, you can kind of scoop it out, and then you want to rub it on the chicken that you threw.
Yeah. Not the dead.
Borlak.
It's too late for that one.
Borlak.
Borlak.
Yeah. So rubbing it on Borlak. Find this big fatty globule that you press into the feathers of Borlak. Yeah. Sort of pat it down. Yeah, it makes a sort of congealed, fatty, feathery mass atop it.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Great!
It's good to know.
You just hear clucking, of course.
Can I use some of the excess and stuff I've got just to keep it on my person? Not to heal anything, just to keep for later.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What's he got? I'm trying to think
You
what-
probably need to store it in a vessel of some nature. You'd imagine it would.
Herbalism kit.
Oh, I've got an empty.
Pepper something in there.
I've got an empty jar that all that oil came out that I didn't use for a nefarious purpose. I have an empty jar that's all yours.
That's fine. That would do you. That would do you a portion of
Nice. Thanks
Of-
very much.
Thanks, okay.
of
Very pre-oiled.
Hill Maddock lard. Yeah.
And then we're a label maker now.
Oh,
If you
Really want a label maker?
yeah. So you don't totally know what it does, but you have a pot of
No,
this.
I know what it does. The chicken just said it feels great.
Yeah. In some way, it makes the chicken feel great.
Makes chickens feel great.
Yes, you have a pot of Hill Maddock lard.
We can cook the other chicken in it later.
make sure you get that in the inventory. You can trade that away at some
yeah.
point.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be worth a fortune
will
or
be,
something.
yeah. Someone's going to want that.
Fallow, my good fellow, my
Yeah.
fellow fallow, fellow fallow. It's good to say. How far south have you been from here?
Not very far.
Yeah. What's the furthest south you've ever been
I went to the entrance.
of this town? Nobody travelled. Were you born here? Did you come here from somewhere else?
Yeah, I've been here a long time.
Yeah.
I was somewhere else before.
Yeah. Where was that? You remember?
No.
Another farm.
Yeah.
And these nexuses, are they fairly common now? Is this the only one you know of?
It's the only one I know of, but maybe there's another one I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. And all of these nuggets that get sold to Echo, they're kind of military rations, kind of low-grade food, that kind of business?
It's like in boxes, crates like densely packed together,
Yeah.
crates of like bird meat.
Lovely. Sounds nutritious. What do you eat while you're here?
I eat some of that.
Yeah. It seems to be
It's
all
what
it
we
is.
all eat.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Fair enough. And this whole forced copulation that's going off around here, the
What does that mean?
intercourse, the old hanky-panky, the old husband-wife game, hide the purple carrot, that kind of business.
Oh, the biddy. Yeah,
The
you should
biddy,
go and see the
yeah.
biddy.
Yeah, and people have been telling us that. Is that how long's that been going on for?
Like a couple of years, like since the Nexus, really.
Yeah, when all the men left.
Well, they all died.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Ah,
Died of a mysterious illness.
died. Of course they died.
Fair enough. And that's presumably gone now, and not still contagious.
Yeah, they're a bit like him actually.
Ah,
A bit like him. Wood elves.
No, like the patches.
Oh.
Well, I don't know what this is. Has any of your trees, animals been infected?
Well, there's those guys up there, and he points into the distance, sort of toward the tree line, like at the top of this hill, past the shed. Yeah, they look like all their blood came out.
What, the trees?
No, the medics.
Oh.
oh,
Oh, well, their blood came out. Were they lying there? Could one say it was like a sock?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Oh dear.
Wasn't thinking
We
it was this
heard
far
about
south.
this.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
think it was nowhere near this. This was.
We didn't think we were going to run into this.
No.
Interesting. How long ago did that happen?
Oh, not that long ago, really. I guess. I don't know, like many 10 days ago,
Hmm.
something like
But
that.
that's what killed all the men.
No,
Oh,
I don't know. The men, they all died a little while ago or buggered off somewhere.
Yeah. But that illness that afflicted the Maddocks looks very similar to what my man Thorin is.
I don't know, like a skin
You
sock.
don't know, but no, the patches.
No, they
Skin-
didn't have the patches.
No,
No,
different
don't
thing.
have the
Like
patches.
the
Sorry.
like
okay.
the men had the patches,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then like
And they got those here at the Nexus.
I guess so.
How
Yeah.
many nuggets have you eaten?
I've eaten no
Have you ever eaten
nuggets.
a nugget?
Not that I know of.
Not a single
If I
thing.
did, it was responsibly sourced.
I wonder. Maybe we need to see the
Plant-based.
biddy again. Oh, actually, no. We need to see the queen
The
of this
biddy's
town.
just, yeah, we need to
yeah,
see
yeah, we need to see the queen of this town.
Queen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The leader.
The big boss lady.
Yeah, take me to your leader.
Yes.
In there.
Yeah, take me to her.
Should we know anything?
Announce our presence.
I'm not really meant to talk to her.
Aren't you?
She's cross.
Is
know
she? Does she get cross with strangers?
She's cross with everyone.
Do you ever see many strangers come through here?
Not that many, no, not really. Maybe like some guards and things sometimes.
Yeah.
Is that just to see the biddy?
Well, maybe some people see the biddy.
That's disgusting behaviour.
Some people go and see her.
Do you see them afterwards?
No, they go away.
Oh, they still live then. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Do you have any insights if we're going to go and see the boss lady?
What?
Like, how would one approach her?
What makes her really, really angry?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Are we going to make her really, really angry? Is that the plan?
Could be useful.
Sounds like fun. I hate this town.
You always know the angle, right?
Yeah. I hate this place already.
She hates humans as well.
Interesting.
She hates like the Slicks,
Yeah.
and she hates like I don't know, everything.
Hates everything, yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Anything she really likes? Obviously, eating a particular type of food or walking a particular area, for example. A particular person.
She likes like the job. The only thing she likes really is like her job.
What is her job? What does she actually do?
She's like the administrator.
Oh, is she? Oh, loves numbers. Paperwork.
Yeah.
Filing.
Yeah, she likes all that kind of stuff.
Does she? Oh. No, I've got a profile now. So, got a
Got us.
profile.
Yeah.
We doing good cop, bad cop?
I've got to do some more like
Just straight bad cop.
farming.
Back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to do a bit more like medic work now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what kind of trouble would you get into if she knew that you were just throwing chickens about the place?
Oh, she's alright about that really, as long
Oh,
as I do it like a little bit.
Oh, she's quite relaxed about
Get some lard on those 2 chickens.
Well, alright. Goes over. Just gets a little bit. Does
Fair
it?
enough.
Alright, yeah.
Alright.
It's been a pleasure, Fallow. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks.
You've been more pleasant than I initially thought. Thank
Oh.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
I suggest potentially leaving this town. I think you don't seem like you're very happy here.
You'll find that elves are a lot more powerful elsewhere.
That does seem quite true.
Alright, yeah.
I think your true potential is not going to shine out
Hmm.
here.
Yeah.
Where do I go then?
Wherever the spectacled wrens take you, you take this flock with you and start your own farm somewhere.
That's not a bad idea.
What you're going to do is open those gates.
But I haven't got like a farmhouse or anything.
Well, I mean,
Build
if
one.
you take
Can do
the
that too.
wrens, the farmhouse will come at least.
Make a persuasion roll.
Oh, in the middle of Goldspell. Don't need a house. you can
so
sleep
don't
under
need
the
that.
stars.
Sleep under the stars with all your
Yeah.
spectacle wrens to keep you warm.
No. Always look at this, everything to 0. 15.
Well, I'll think about it.
I would. That's why we keep throwing her around, for its business sense.
If you need a hand with, multiple gates at once, I'm your wood elf.
Watch out for that rash, mate.
I will.
Put some lard on it, I think.
Yeah.
I've had this since birth.
Oh, have you? Since
Ah.
birth.
Since birth.
You're born afflicted.
I don't know how much of the backstory I've never told you
You've
of
definitely
my
not told me.
backstory.
Yeah.
Definitely not
My
told
childhood. Maybe one day.
me. Maybe one day.
I feel like I need to discuss it with the biddy at some point before we leave. And that might be integral.
I've only just learned that those twigs were a part of you.
Yeah, I don't like talking about it. It's a sensitive
Is
subject.
it? Okay. That's fair enough.
Family, home, forest, disease. Fuck it. I just like rolling around, getting distracted with you guys.
Cool. We can
That's
keep you
pretty much why I'm here, so
Feel
we're
like-
going to get on just fine.
I like shirking off the responsibility.
we can keep you distracted. Let's enter the house.
Here's to that.
See you later.
Bye, Vallo.
See you later, you odd small fellow.
He was very hunched the whole time as well. I forgot to mention that. So you walk a little further up this hill, and you can see these creatures that are sort of on the, that clearly look dead at the top of this hill.
Wind-socked Maddox, of course.
But before you get to that, you get to the. Oh, thank you so much. Before you get to that, you reach this little tin or iron shack, and the door's slightly ajar. It's very modest. There's nothing spectacular about it in any regard. In the middle of this hill, it looks probably like it would let a fairly decent breeze through. It doesn't look particularly well constructed.
Thinking it was hot in there, an iron shack.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder she's angry. She's freaking toasted up.
It's a hot box.
Yeah.
And then, so you reach this door.
I think we need an elves diplomacy right now. Seems to be a little racist.
Oh, you're looking at the wrong elf.
First impressions.
I can give it a shot.
Well, he got some disguise. Maybe just a bit extra.
Ear putty.
I'm what you call a normal elf.
That is the exact disguise.
That's the one?
That's
Yeah.
the one.
Nice.
Approved.
Who's entering?
I'll give it a knock. Is it a door? Like a door? Or
Yeah, slightly ajar, a little against everything here, sort of tin, metal of some nature. It's just a.
Quick check for obvious danger. Things like,
Give me a
munitions trapped behind the door.
Give me a perception roll.
Yeah. Perception roll. I can do that.
Or investigation if you're looking at the door, I guess that's
It's obvious danger, really, so I can give you either. It's up to you. Investigation.
You choose.
I'll do perception.
Perception.
14.
14. Somebody in there.
Cool.
That's the only danger you perceive.
Cool. I'll swing the door ever so slightly open and call through. So, hello, I seek an audience with whoever's the administrator of this nexus.
And this lady turns round. She's wearing a white shirt, wrist, down arm-length shirt, and a little V-neck. She's got this brown jerkin over the top of that, all buttoned up quite tightly, quite prim and proper in her appearance. She's got glasses, which are fairly uncommon around Asher thus far. She's clearly an elf, long elven ears. She's got a necklace that looks fairly expensive, so she's clearly got some access to funds. And she's got sort of dark brown, chestnut brown hair and a ponytail, and quite pursed lips. Hello there.
Hello, nice to meet you.
And who might you be?
I'm Duran.
Duran.
Duran, yeah, you might know me. I've been around these parts a little while, just taking the sights, checking that everything's above board.
Haven't seen you.
Haven't you? Well, you must have heard of me.
Give me a deception roll.
Hit it with your best shot. There's a 28.
I have heard of you.
What's your modify?
Where have I heard of you?
Oh, you probably heard of the fact that I've been going around checking farmsteads in the area, just making sure they're up to code.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I see. Well, this one's up to code.
Well, yeah. Do you have presumably most recent numbers, paperwork, that kind of thing?
So as you look at the room, there's lots of nice orderly piles of paper. Everything looks everything's perfectly aligned, is your observation. The table is set, the pencil is sort of very vertically or perpendicular to the table, as is the paper, as the glass of water is neatly on the coaster, perfectly set. Like you get a feeling as to this lady's character from the way the room is arranged.
Like a very well kept office. This is much better than the rest of the
thank you very much.
farmlands that I've been around.
Thank you. Where have you come from?
Well, originally from Equa, but I've been travelling the country for
Oh,
quite
from
a while.
Equa.
Yes, that's right.
Mm.
Yeah, well.
I see.
The kingdom takes these things very seriously, as you know, hence why I'm come here.
I actually used to work in Equa, you know.
Did you?
Mhm.
No, I thought I sensed a little something on your accent there. Yeah, whereabouts did you work?
I was at the Department of Gnomish Relations. Mhm.
Were you really? Oh, I used to pass that office every day.
Oh, really?
Wonderful. It's a wonder I didn't pass it. I would have remembered if I'd obviously taken your sight in on the way there. Of course, yeah. But it's probably going to take me a little while to go through this. I don't suppose. I mean, what time of day is it? Is it getting late in the day?
Yeah, it's early evening now.
Yeah.
Early evening.
It's probably going to take me a little while to go through this. I don't suppose there's anywhere me and my companions could stay the night.
Well, who might I ask? Who are your companions?
I have two companions that I've travelled with for quite a while. There's a gnome who you'll get on with fairly well, I'm sure, with your background.
Yes, yes.
And actually a wood elf as well.
Oh, I see. I've not met a wood elf before.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he'd be very happy to meet you.
Well, perhaps there'd be somewhere I could maybe I could find you somewhere to stay.
That'd be wonderful. Maybe I could look through this paperwork and you could find somebody who'd be able to put us up for the night.
I think you'll find everything's quite in order. Yes.
Merely a formality. Merely a formality.
Yes. And is there anything do you have any? I'll let you do your job.
Thank you. That's very good.
Not
Thank you
at all.
very much.
Not at all.
He's going to start perusing,
Okay.
but being very delicate.
Sure. Yeah.
He's very dexterous anyway.
Yeah.
But he's going to deliberately start perusing that. He doesn't have a clue what he's looking for.
Sure.
But I'm sure he'll figure it out
Yeah.
as he starts looking through things. And he's going to be looking specifically for kind of input of material, output of material. Because he's Sildon, he's going to be looking for anything that he can use that's kind of untoward.
Sure.
Any kind of blackmail-esque material.
Yeah.
And specifically anything that aids the kingdom significantly. So if there's anything other than food, like if there's been significant troop presences passing in and out, that kind of thing.
What's your passive perception?
Passive, probably not great. I'll give it my best shot. It's up here somewhere, isn't it? Senses, maybe?
Still on the chicken.
Oh, we still have the chicken
Passive
jumping.
perception
Yeah.
is
It's
13.
13. Okay.
This is a battle of wits, this is right now.
As you're looking down at the paper, you notice out of the corner of your eye, you didn't get a good look, but at the corner of your eye, she quickly takes a piece of paper and puts it behind her back. Evidently, sneakily.
Yeah. Is she leaving now?
No, she's just sort of stood there, just watching you, and now she's got this piece of paper behind her back.
Oh, that's very good. Perhaps you could check on accommodation, if that's all right. Can
Oh,
you lead me to it?
No, of course.
Wonderful.
Yes, that's fine.
I'm gonna
I wasn't
try
expecting your visit. Normally I get some kind of information or
Well,
like
we
a heads
have
up
to-
or...
we like to-
Not that's a problem or
Of
anything.
course. I'm going to try and sleight of hand it off her as she passes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh. I've been rolling well, so this could not go well now.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's an 11.
Okay, so you take it, but she clearly notices that you take it.
I just noticed there's an extra piece of paper here.
Oh, don't- she said she tries to take it back off unless
Yeah.
you contest her.
Yeah, I'll contest it or not. I do have to check everything. You
So
see.
she tries to take it back off you, so she's going.
We're gonna
It's just
rip
going to
it
be
off.
sleight of hand against sleight of hand. That's all.
Oh, are we doing it?
Yeah.
The double sleight of hand. Oh no, I've rolled really badly. It's an 8.
She rolled a 2.
Way!
So you sort of fumble over it, and it just sort of falls down onto the ground closer to you than her.
Yeah. I'll scoop it up.
Okay.
Oh, thank you very much for picking that up for me. Yeah.
There's one thing I should probably say.
Yes.
We've had a drainage problem with the animals.
Drainage problem. Well, that doesn't sound too serious. I'm sure. Is it all here in the report? Is it?
Atop the hill, something has been the bug people, the bug people.
I know them. Yeah, I know of them.
They've been killing. And we have no security here. You understand? There was nothing we could have done. Nothing we could have done. The killing and draining the blood of the hill maddocks.
It's quite strange. They live quite a long way away from here, and to act so, they're utterly dependent on the kingdom.
Well,
You know that, of course.
I don't know. I don't know. They've been killing our animals.
Interesting. How odd. It's very odd. Well, I'm sure.
But there's nothing we could have done about it. If you understand that.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure between the two of us, we can think of a logical way that this could not necessarily be in there. It'd be a shame to put such a dark mark on your otherwise stellar record. Yes. How about you go and see where we can stay for the evening, and I see what I can do about this situation.
Yes. And she sort of turns out the door quite abruptly, turns quite sharply, opens the door, steps out, and scutters away. You see her, sees you two out there, and she looks at you both.
I'm going to shout indoors and just say, don't forget the new birds per square inch clause.
Oh yes, of course. I'll take a look.
And she clearly cottons onto the markings on you as well. She's like, "Ooh!" and takes a particularly wide berth around you, and heads away down the hill, past Fallow.
Come on in. The water's fine.
It's warm.
So yeah, there's a very tight little shed as well. It's not a big spacious area. This is a
The bug people.
The skillet.
Did we?
slicked. She says.
Slicked.
Is that, if I was to remember back, a top bar? You know, they had a museum, and I've seen a bug person in that.
They
That
were
was a
described
slicked,
as
was it?
slicks, they were.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I was inquisitive about those since I've seen them.
I haven't heard no stories about them draining blood. They live a long way from here.
Never
Other
heard of
side
them.
They're on the north. He's checking his memory. On the north side.
North side.
We heard stories in Veracqua. Weird addicts that kind of hung around.
Addicts.
Yeah, always walking around with a bag of some description. Seems to be their natural habit. They're kind of docile. Mind you, I only met the travelling kind. Apparently, where they live, there are big, kind of meaty variety.
Oh. Were they close to the Gnomish regions then? We're up in the north.
The gnomes are fairly east, almost extreme. If you referenced your map, they are.
Oh, so is that the hinterland?
Actually,
the
gnomes.
Blightlands. They're up there, are they? Into the Blightlands, is what we would say.
Somewhere up there.
Yeah.
Only from what Sildon has said to you.
Okay.
Because didn't they say the socks were like here?
No, I think they said to the east, didn't they? I think towards the Gnomish region. They said that they were. Yeah, they'd.
Thought there's no compasses.
Yeah.
They think they were just reports. I don't think they gave a geographical location.
I
Because
remember
there was an illness in the Gnomish lands, but then there was other reports of
was
things
it?
being
Okay.
drained of their blood.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Didn't know what. Just scanning through
It was a
the
pox,
report that
wasn't
she's
it?
been hiding from.
Yeah.
Monkeypox.
Yeah, it looks like she signed it Basualt
Cool.
at the bottom of it, and she documents on multiple occasions in individual maddocks being found drained of blood. The first couple of reports are written in extremely surprising and detailed fashion, and then as it gets lower and lower down, she says, and another one, and another one.
It's more than just a couple. then,
It's happened
clearly.
again, terms like that.
Black pudding.
It specifically notes that anyone in particular observed bug people.
So the first entry references Fallow finding one of these creatures drained, and then he dragged it to the top of the hill so it didn't stink everywhere else. And
Fallow
then
enjoyed that.
there was reference to Fallow reporting that he saw a bug
A bug.
fleeing from
A bug.
the
actually.
site.
Seen a bug.
A bug.
I've seen a
Yeah,
bug.
a 6 foot tall
Bug.
insectoid.
Over here in your conversation, I'm a bit confused as we've met the biddy and I thought she was a wood elf, yet What was she called, this lady here?
Bassold.
Bassold said she's never encountered a wood elf before. That's rather
Same as
alarming,
the
yes.
driver of the Killbot.
So they've
Really?
If I
never
remember
seen,
that correctly.
so they've never seen a wood elf.
We need, yeah. Maybe
Maybe they
I...
don't consider her a wood elf.
They've never said she's a wood elf. I just assumed from looking at her that she looked a bit like Arthur. Maybe,
No, I think,
maybe she's
I
not a
think we
wood
were
elf.
told she was very wood elf-like.
Very wood elf-like, yeah, but maybe not quite a wood elf.
Maybe.
She might just hot glue some twigs in there, you know?
Ivy.
Yeah.
In Ivy Arms, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, she did
Interesting.
Ivy Arms. She's very
Yeah.
much a wood elf. Most interesting.
Weird. Just remember that.
Quick scan through the rest of the paperwork. I
Mhm.
assume everything's in order and there's nothing I can use in there.
Everything else is mind-numbing. It's
Yeah.
it's reports of
Yeah.
stocks moving about. It's reports of who she's paid, who she hasn't
Yeah.
paid, who's been sick. You know, it's just boring work-like paperwork.
Do you have any maintenance manuals for the machines?
Not in here. No.
Oh,
She doesn't keep any, presumably doesn't keep a lockbox in here or any particular, anything of monetary value.
You can give me an investigation roll just to have a general one
I
around the
think I
room.
might.
have a look at the desk.
This could get us in trouble later.
What's
It's a
D&D without a
14?
little bit of trouble?
14?
There is nothing you would perceive of value that you can find. Lots of paperwork. There's stationery. There's some cups and drinking vessels, but there's nothing. It's a pretty boring shack as far as shacks go.
She signed off a lot of the paperwork.
Yeah, it looks like she's the main
Cool.
signature on just about everything here. Yeah,
I'll nick a few indiscriminate pieces of information with
Sure.
a signature on,
sure.
just in case it comes out later on.
Yeah.
And then, do you want to pocket this report? Is it better that it goes missing and we can use it later? Probably.
I would have thought so,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
going to pocket the report as well. The incriminating one. Right. I'm going to write a fabricated report that everything looks great. I've got ink and a pen, so
Mhm.
I'll just write a fabricated report that everything's great from Duran.
No problem.
And just for a bit of finesse, I do have a ring on me.
Oh, nice.
No, I won't actually. I'll leave that. I'll just make. I won't give it a seal. I'll just leave it as is.
No problem. Okay. So, are you waiting for her to return, or are you exiting? What are you doing?
Probably should, I guess. It's only polite, isn't it?
We can quickly head up the hill and have a look at these maddocks while we wait.
Yeah, let's
We
do
can
that.
pop up there
Yeah,
and come
pop
back in,
up there,
in half an
investigate.
hour. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see what she's
Sounds good.
returned.
I best save the report until tomorrow, thinking about it, because otherwise she's going to turf us out.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Good shout.
Sounds good.
Just sleeping at Hollow Maddock for the evening.
Blow it up, like a tent. Just put poles in it.
So you exit the
That's a way better business idea than I already.
shack, and you see Fallow down there, sort of glances up again,
Cooey.
a little nod as he's in the crevices, and he's got some kegs and things next to him where he's sort of loading these crevices up.
Jeepers.
Or she, as they introduce themselves. You head further up past the hut, a couple of 100 feet. You can get to quite a steep climb, but you get to this pile of stinking. There's a pong to this. They've clearly been there for many days, and there are flies around it and all sorts of probably rodents and little creatures eating off of it, small birds and things, and which most of them sort of scatter as you approach, apart from the flies sort of residually.
There's no freaking 12-foot flies. These maddocks
There are
don't.
no-
They
there are-
don't at one
Yeah,
point. Yeah,
There are
turn
not.
into a-
There are not. However,
That'd be freaking terrifying.
there is a pile of maybe 7 or 8 of these maddocks that are sort of being piled up on top of each other. It's a good description. Sock thin, clearly hollowed out, missing the blood, which was described. There's not a great deal of blood around. Maybe the odd drop here and there that's clearly dried into the turf, but it's almost perfectly been removed of whatever fluids it had inside of it. And they all look the same: drained, shriveled, pale, even paler than they would normally be, and now rotting flesh carcasses atop
Lovely.
the hill. Of note, that even though there's no blood there, sort of pooling around them, there's very much a trail of blood that you pick up with your passive perception, which heads over the fence into this sort of wooded area. And as you look at this wooded area, the trunks are quite the trees are quite unusual here. The trunks are all twisted, and they're actually conjoined in such a way that it's really hard to tell if you're looking at one tree or 100 trees. It's this big twisty mess of trunks. Yeah, it's very, very tricky to be sure. It's just an unusual forest formation.
I think we could hire our
Let's
services
go.
for investigation. I could do with some money.
Yeah,
If we get into a fight, maybe we can get paid.
true.
I don't know.
Well, we're going to go to the forest at some point.
Yeah.
He's probably already walking that way.
Should we go
It's
now?
like looking backwards. Like, I'm going to go there.
I'm going. Yeah, let's have a sneaky check.
Turn my pockets out again.
Sildar will
one day.
keep back a little bit, sensing blood trail normally sense danger, and he's going to try and meld as much as he can in the background. It's probably not a good place to kind of hide there, right? It's pretty out in the open.
Well, there's a lot. No, these trees. This is quite a dense forest. Again,
Maddox socks.
these trunks.
Just inside it.
As you go in there, these trunks are very There's not like it doesn't seem that they're all emerging from the ground. It does seem that these trunks are sort of spanning the carpet of the floor and then propelling back up again. It's quite a very unusual formation. But there's lots of places to hide, so you're welcome to give a stealth.
You're going to attempt a stealth
Yeah.
just to keep himself hidden. Oh, it's not a great roll, it's only an 11.
Okay.
Sneaking. Sneaking. Quiet net. Sneaking.
So you travel for a little period of time. Can you just give me a survival roll to see how well you're able to pick up this trail?
For everybody or just for a couple?
Anyone that wants to do it.
I'll give you advantage because I'm helping you. But I'm stealth, so I probably wouldn't be helping you. But Zolan might be helping
Wow. It's 13.
13.
Do you need me to roll survival?
You after a little while, after a couple of minutes of walking, you do kind of generally lose it, but it hadn't changed direction at any point up to that point. So you're welcome to continue heading in that same direction, but obviously you've lost the trail.
How far
as
have
per
we
se.
walked so far to get to this point, do you think?
A couple of minutes.
Okay, we can do another couple, I think. Just a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What's the minute?
you head a couple of minutes through this weird tree formation forwards, and at this point we're just in a forest at this stage. Nothing has drawn your attention 2 more minutes in.
Can we see? Is it a very dense forest?
It's pretty dense.
Can
at
we
this
see
point,
any
yeah.
like paths of where like the brush has been brushed aside, where we see people have walked? Is there any definitive paths?
So you can give me you're welcome to give me another survival roll to see if you can pick up anything like that.
13 again.
Yeah, no, not anything obvious with 13.
How of nature, how natural, that's the word, is this forest?
Give me a nature roll.
I think we need someone to climb to the top of the tree.
10.
Looks like a forest. It is just this slightly strange tree formation. Like I said, you're not sure what it is, but you think it's a tree. Or many trees.
Feel like a tree.
Feels like a tree.
You can climb to the top and have a look.
Do I reckon I can climb to the top and have a look?
Do you reckon you can climb?
As he's climbing, as he's saying that.
You can look above the canopy.
Yeah. Just give me an athletics roll to see how well you're able to do so.
Climb.
16.
Yeah, fine. You can easily navigate up to the top of this tree. So you clamber up it. It's quite a smooth tree, a light brown trunk, and it's quite bushy at the top, but not many branches sort of along the way. And you get to the top, and as you get to the top, you suspect even more this is probably few trees rather than many trees, because the whole canopy looks like one carpet of leaves, as it were. You've got a reasonably good view still down onto Rasna Selhathna, and it looks like you're in a decent-sized forest. You're just sort of entering a fairly large forest, which heads north for an indiscriminate period of time. You can kind of sort of see to the other side just about. You can probably just about make out. You can view 2 miles, can't you?
Only 2 miles? I reckon I can see at least 15 for miles.
Yeah, so you can see the ending of the forest is probably, you'd probably travel for half an hour to get to the end of the forest. That'd be your estimate.
Can I see if there's anything the way, like a settlement or anything?
This,
Like a person?
yeah, and everything past that vision is, not clearly.
Just looking at the trees themselves, are they, other than the fact they're all entwined together, are they very tree-like? Are there no other distinguishing features?
Yes, you give me a nature roll again. Just
Face. Hello.
The same face that the Maddox have.
Okay.
You imagine it.
So 12?
it's a tree. You think? Yeah.
I'm going to slip my knife out and stab one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Easy enough, and yeah, you do so. It's
Chipping off some bark. just
behaves
next to the
like a tree.
I'm going to pat a tree because I'm wondering what everyone's doing. Not
Makes
going to
me more-
investigate.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start touching one.
tree. Makes me more.
Yeah, it feels like a tree.
I'm going to shout down, never touch a tree there!
All right.
Dirty bastard!
What did I touch? Oh.
Well, I guess we trek on.
We're carrying on. I can go through. Let's
How
go.
long have we got until nightfall?
We're still in the early evening at this
Let's
point.
go.
Got nothing else on?
Adventure.
Adventure calls.
Feeling.
like a
Zola's
woodland
actually
adventure.
feeling adventurous for once.
Yeah,
Let's
take
go.
advantage
You're just trying to
of
get
this.
away from the smell of chickens and dead maggots.
That's true.
Yeah.
Got
Onwards.
some time to kill before we
Okay.
set loose all the birds.
Yeah.
So you're just heading as best as you're able to. So can you just give me a survival roll, and this is just a group survival roll. This is just your general ability to continue in the same direction that you were continuing, because obviously you haven't really got any points of reference down there.
Not
Should be group.
not much of a country boy, but we'll give it a
Take the
go.
mean.
Are we all doing one?
Ooh.
Is that what
I'm
you
like
want?
a 19. Taking the mean, are we?
we're just doing a group check, so it needs
it's only
more
a 5 over here.
More than half of you to pass.
I got 19.
12.
And you got
5. So
Okay.
it's probably one of the few times Sylvan's been in a forest.
sure. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
So you're not sure how well you're doing, but I know how well you're doing.
Okay.
So you're heading on now after a while's, 15 or so minutes travel, maybe a little bit more, through the undergrowth. Another foul stench emerges.
I always smell like that.
There's a little bit of a clearing here. It's just lessened off a little bit the density of the forest. And you see 50 feet in front of you, you've got this clear pile of sort of lichen-covered sticks or branches, which the smell is clearly emanating from.
Okay. Interesting. This is a common smell?
Have I ever smelt this before?
If you want to give me a perception roll.
Smell check.
Smell check.
Sniff check. Every time I open the milk in the morning.
I did. Don't just look at the date. You have to have a sniff. Or
I have
you,
to have a
you,
sniff.
you ignore
11.
the date. You just
Okay.
you go until
It smells like rotting something.
what this little grassy, mossy twigs.
This is. Are we talking like rotting?
Vegetation.
Yeah, vegetation or rotting.
It feels
Peoples.
more animal than vegetative. But it's this pile of quite a few, quite big, decent-sized sticks. Kind of bonfire kind of sized
Ah.
pile of lichen-covered sticks. Yeah.
Let's investigate. I'm going to put on a weapon though, just in case anything. I feel like we're getting close to some assailants potentially.
What weapon is there?
Oh, his little hand axe. He's got a little hand axe, hasn't he?
Okay.
Sylvan's going to stay in whatever stealth cover he's got.
That's fine. I'm fine with that previous roll still.
Yeah, he's going to load up his what he calls his street piece, which is crossbow.
Nice.
No problem. And so I guess Thorny, you're going up closer. Are you or you?
I'll come with. I'll go up closer and
Get poke it with the stick.
just use the hand. Yeah, the
I'm
axe.
Gonna make sure it's not some kind of grave that we're disrespecting right now.
Sure. Give me a religion roll.
It's a natural 20.
Natural 20.
It's not a grave. It's actually a huge nest of brown and green two-headed serpents. Like long, thin, snake-like creatures, but with two heads.
Heads at either end or heads at the same end?
At the same end.
Oh.
The serpents are not moving. They are, and as you get closer and closer,
Yeah.
they are shriveled, they are pale, and they're as thin as sticks. They look like they've been drained. In
Got
a
that
not
too.
dissimilar fashion. Would be your estimation.
That's pretty gross.
That's pretty gross. Got them too.
Does anybody know how any way to identify like the age of these things? Maybe. Anybody know?
Oh, do they
I don't really know what I'm looking at,
I
but
reckon
is
it's
this,
when he-
is this
when he
recent
does
or
that.
is this?
are they known to have bad venom? Can I milk them for venom?
Give me a nature roll.
I give it a go. This is where Sildon kills himself. It's a powerful 5.
Powerful.
No idea.
Give it a go.
I'll have a poke around the chops. You
Sure.
got big old fangs, presumably.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Suddenly come alive.
certainly.
A bit desiccated then.
If you give me a medicine roll to see how well you're able to
Medicine?
sort of navigate its
We're
anatomy.
hitting all the skills that Sylvan does not have. The law of averages, 13.
13. You don't really know what you're looking for.
You're looking for teats on a snake.
but
That's
they-
probably what's happening.
Snake
yeah.
teats.
Where are the
You-
teats?
Where's
Yeah.
the venom come from?
You managed to not.
I normally just buy this in the shop.
You've managed to not pierce yourself.
That's good.
So that's a start.
Yeah.
But there's no like obvious way to milk them.
None of udders, Sildon.
Well, I don't
First time
know.
you've been here?
Yes.
Snakes. Crikey.
He's figuring it out.
Bloody city boys, eh?
We will take a short break at this point, while Sildon is milking the snake.
Gross.
And we will return shortly after I find the mouse. There we go.
Oh,
We'll
who did you
return
kill?
in 5 minutes' time.
Zolan!
I've put suspect 6 minutes past. We'll see you in 5 minutes, everybody.
Love you, bye.
5 minutes.
Thank you.
And we're back.
5 minutes, you said. You
I know, I lied.
Tell us off 'cause you-
I lied. I had to print off some stuff because I didn't have my stuff printed off.
because you
Amateur.
led us in the way
We're a
that you
professional
didn't want us
outfit.
to
Amateur.
go.
We're a
Amateur.
professional outfit here.
I wouldn't have
Jack.
put a trail of blood there if you couldn't go that way. Let's be honest. You can go.
I would.
Need to chuck a chicken.
So, having investigated the serpent and not being completely sure whether or not you can extract anything from it, you've kind of hit an impasse in that pursuit.
That's fine.
What would you like to do?
Well, maybe we should head back the other way.
I've got that as well.
Go up to town.
No, should we have a further investigation?
What's the least?
It's hot
What's the
mess.
most normal, boring route?
Yeah.
We'll go that way.
Should we make camp for the
Go
night?
whichever way you want.
Right now.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, right now. We can make camp.
You are loving
we
a
can
bit of
make camp for the
adventure,
night,
aren't
can
you?
we?
In the snake nest.
We've got a lovely accommodation set back for us where they think we're investigating them.
That's true. Well, they're not going to yet. It's still a ruse there. I'm onto them, you know.
Are there any
See anything in the paperwork?
Yeah, there's
any
a ruse.
more trails around this area?
I've got muddled up with which ones I'm on.
I think it
How
might
was
have
that one?
probably
That
should
was
have
that
some
one.
reference to all
Okay.
the men dying in that paperwork.
Sorry, what was your question?
Yeah, that's true.
Now that we've come to
Killed
this pit of smelly, dead, two-headed snakes,
Yes.
is there anything around here that screams like, now there's a blood smudge that
Oh,
way?
yeah.
Blood smudge.
You can give me another survival roll.
Blood smudge.
Blood smudge. 14.
Blood smudge.
You see the beginnings of a blood smudge heading towards the direction you were heading,
Oh,
but
Just ram
pretty
into a
quickly
straight
after
line.
kind of lose it
Yeah.
again.
Blood
But
smudges.
it has been pretty omnidirectional at this point.
One direction.
One directional. The opposite of omnidirectional.
It's
everywhere.
It's blood.
Everything.
Raining blood.
Everything.
Mono-directional?
Yeah, mono-directional, I guess. Yeah. It's been everything. You've been heading this way, and this is where you've collected another trail.
so we did, we did good.
You did good.
We lost the trail, but we knew where we were going.
So you're heading in that direction still, continuing
Yeah. Try and stay
kind of
quiet.
north.
See if we can get the drop on this thing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be looking up lots.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you think they might drop?
If you
on
want to give
us
me
at
just
this
a
point?
perception roll, then if you're actively actively keeping an eye out,
Cool. I feel like a weapon.
particularly above you.
23.
Okay. So you've got what you can do is you can make out, although it's late in the day, you know where the sun sets, and even through the canopy that we find ourselves in, you can just about get enough of a reference point that you can kind of direct yourself north by the sun, which is the direction you've been heading so far, at least until it sets. So, but aside from that, there's no other, nothing else that's jumped at you yet. But that is your
Yeah.
perception roll.
Yeah, I'm thinking just like, I don't know, something that shimmering, invisible, predator-esque thing.
It's on the TV at the
Sure.
weekend as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. How long are you heading in this direction?
Until we find a thing that's going to drain our
Yeah.
blood.
To find the
Yeah.
next thing, I
So
guess.
continuing it indefinitely
In
until
the blood
within
trail.
reason until you
Within
find.
reason. I think the only thing that's still going to be wary of is if it's going to be nightfall before we get back. That'll probably be his tipping point.
Sure. Yeah. We're into the sort of still early evening at this
Cool.
point.
In
You
which
estimate
case, yeah, it's forge on.
6-7 p.m.
Onwards.
something like that at the moment. Yeah. Okay, so forging on forwards. So you continue on through this this odd tree structure, and eventually, after a good period of time, you're probably walking close to an hour at this point north. You reach the forest edge, you reach the edge of this place. And there's been a little bit of undulation, by the way, on the ground, so you're not completely sure how far from sea level we are at the moment. But we're not necessarily at the top of the hill. We're not necessarily down low. You've sort of lost that bearing. The Earth's just all become part of the landscape.
Rubbish.
You eventually join a quite narrow dirt track at the edge of this forest. Just as you exit, you kind of sit a little bit over to the side. You can see this path that's clearly heading north to south or south to north, whichever way you look at it. And this forest emerges kind of to the east of this track and sort of hugs the track from one side. And on the opposite side, there's sort of thick, dishevelled, knee-high grass. And then kind of shrubs and things to the west-hand side. So this forest ends on the west. You're on the east and you're heading... Well, you were heading to the north side as you sort of intersect this path. The air's cooler now because it's obviously into the evening. The sun's pretty much setting now, or we're sort of at dusk, or getting close to. And that steady breeze catches kind of the beads of sweat on you that you've gathered as you've been making this journey. It makes you probably shiver a little bit as you come out. But you've arrived at this path.
Oh. I was expecting more blood draining.
No blood smudges here.
You can give me another survival roll.
Blood smudge.
9.
Not that you can see.
Does the path look well trodden?
It looks like it's been used. This isn't like a. It doesn't look like a major route. It looks more like a. A much less well-travelled road than any of the main ones you've been using to traverse of late. But it's clearly distinct enough from the other terrain that it heads somewhere, but it doesn't look like a main road, as it were.
Have we just joined adjacent to this road? Have we just come out of the shrubs and we're on a road, or have we just walked and suddenly there's a road?
The edge of the
right
forest.
in front of us.
The edge of the forest
Yeah.
you come to immediately joins this road, and because of the angle of the forest, as you sort of exit the forest, you almost just land on this road. It's just a little bit over. You have to slightly adjust your position.
It stretches off in both directions.
It's heading sort of north to south.
No signposts.
Not where you are.
Doesn't seem because is the land fairly flat? Can we see down both ends? Does it seem to be going anywhere in particular?
Yeah, so if you give me a perception roll, just to kind of see what you can make out.
It's not just like a big old town on one side full of vampires. Perception roll, did you say?
Yes.
Perception. It's a 9.
Fine. Looks like it stretches on, and it's fairly straight, like a Roman road. It's fairly straight, long, and the forest hugs it a decent way into the distance on the west side, and this long grass and shrubs and bracken on the east side of the path. But there's nothing. You can't make out a settlement or anything of that nature further down.
Well, we could be travelling for hours either direction. I mean, it'll track the shrubbery, but other than that, we're pretty much at an end.
It's a shame.
It is.
A freaking long walk for nothing.
It is, isn't it?
We saw the snakes. Saw these cool trees.
Well, we're heading south anyway. But then we're leaving Malcolm behind, so we're gonna have to go back.
Yeah. I feel like we should just investigate a direction just for 10 more minutes. We've come this far.
Yeah.
It would be annoying if over the hill. Yeah, it is. You just looked actually, didn't you? Was there just a hill? Is it? Yeah,
It's getting a little darker, but yeah, certainly for the next mile, it looks. You can see for a mile, and there's nothing.
in either direction.
No major features standing out.
Okay.
Someone's got to poke around the shrubs to make sure there's nothing with fangs and blood draining in there.
Yeah, give me an investigation roll.
That's why he gets eaten by a thing.
Sticking your foot in.
Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a 9.
Nothing.
How common are the bug people?
So the first time you had ever heard or seen of them was this that trip to Baal.
Was it? And do we know if they're nocturnal hunters? We could, yeah.
No
Yeah,
idea.
how do these things before? We're scared to go in the forest now.
Yeah,
Night
what does it
time.
say on the paper? Do they find them in the mornings?
I will
Evenings.
recheck it. It wasn't a time of day mentioned? No, it was evening, wasn't it?
There's a
dark.
no, it doesn't indicate the time on the paper at any point. It says what sort of an estimate of the day that it was. Second 10 day in gold spell plus 2, that kind of thing. But it doesn't indicate time of day on any of the records.
Well, we could camp here and see if it comes back. From Markin can deal with mortal peril for one evening. What's the chance it came back? It seems to have gone on a warpath straight through here. We're heading south anyway. We could track that way and maybe join back up to the other entrance to this village on the south side.
Yeah, could do.
At least that brings us back the circular route.
Yeah. Track some ground. I don't know. Get a little scared now.
Let's do it. You're an adventurer.
We're tracking south,
Track south.
not through the forest.
So we've gone east, right?
I think we've got north-ish,
You're
haven't we?
heading north.
Heading north through the forest.
Yeah.
Cool, so we head south back down to the road and it'll bring us back to where we were
Okay.
to begin with. Cool, so loop back around south.
Okay. So heading back to the south, on the path or in the back following the
path.
ground that you've already covered?
Yeah, on the path.
On the path, okay, no problem. So as you trek through the south at this point, pretty soon after 10-20 minutes, the sun actually is setting now, so you're into night vision mode, which you're all adepts in.
Night vision mode.
And it goes from dusk to twilight to
From dusk till dawn.
sunset pretty rapidly once the sun crests the hill. And so you're now travelling to the south. That just natural little bit of extra tension when the sun drops, and obviously you've got that little bit of paranoia that something could be in the area. And are you walking south until either you are exhausted or you find a thing?
Well, I'm presuming if we went north through the forest and we're travelling south, there'll be another entrance back into the village again.
Sure.
So I was looking out for that,
Sure.
presuming that we were looping back around.
Yeah, and you know roughly how long you've travelled, so
Yeah.
you're going to try and travel approximately the same distance.
Yeah.
And if you don't hit the settlement after that period of time, then
Make another
Panic.
you'll panic. Yeah,
Yeah.
panic. Fine. So continuing south, you journey along the path unimpeded over that period of time. You don't meet anyone, you don't meet anything, and eventually you return to Rasmus Alhafner.
Wow, great job, all that printing you
Agricultural
done.
Nexus. That's fine. It's there for another time.
Well,
All that printing. Throw that.
yeah. Turns out there's nothing in the forest.
No, it's empty.
Well, we know there are at least 8 pages somewhere.
There's 8 pages somewhere in the forest.
Oh, I've got 8 pages in every direction. Tom. It's the most crossroady moment you've had, probably. Just this,
Gosh.
all the different
Morally.
ways you could go.
I guess we're going dead down for the evening. Let's go and see if we can find our person.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to do in the village before we do that? I think we're pretty much... Well, there might be some...
We'll double check that the gates have been opened.
Yeah, double check that everything's locked down for the evening.
Lock them down.
Yeah,
We'll have a chat with our female friend
yeah,
of the maggots.
yeah.
Female maggot friend.
So, heading back into the village, You return. It actually loops back around into the same entrance that you came through. You obviously hug the town, come back round, rejoin the path that you see where the other path led off, in which you followed previously, and return to that main entrance. Activity seems to be much lessened at this point. You haven't got all the workers out in the farms, in the streets there. You're not getting heckled and so on and so forth at this point.
Entertaining them all.
By the as you enter the town, there is a light on outside of the biddy's house as previously, because instantly your eye is drawn to there. There's like a lantern out the front, in which there's a light.
Sock on the door, is that what it is?
There is also
Tie on the door.
Yeah.
there is also still an overwhelming amount of squawking going on from the sort of
Biddy's house.
northwesterly direction.
Sounds like Malcolm.
It's still a pretty silent motor.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the
So
machine.
if you recall last time, you couldn't hear it from the entrance, but if you want to go a bit closer, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just see really.
So
see
look-
here.
So walking in a little bit, looking back down that alley that you saw previously. The motor, the smoke is not billowing. It's not operational. There is a quite unusual glowing, like a bright turquoise light. That's quite a decent size line, extremely bright, about a foot tall. That's sort of attached to something that's moving next to the really hang on
Killamajig.
next to
Killamajig.
the really big, hot, loud, sharp, and moving beast harvester. Yeah, so there's activity there.
Maybe Andrew's ascended.
Yeah,
Suddenly, yeah.
I think this will be your
the repair.
to 10.
Yeah,
Is that what she was called?
I can't remember.
The gnomish.
the gnomish
Dolan.
repair.
Yeah.
Repair artist.
No. Pen.
Fitfina.
Fitfina.
Fina.
See, I left my book over there, I've written down.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to go me another gnome before we bed down?
Can do. Don't know what we're going to talk about, really.
Cogs.
Cogs and things. That's what you guys do, isn't it?
Tiny screwdrivers.
Yeah.
I do have a tiny screwdriver. Not in my beard, though.
Well, maybe you should go and persuade her not to fix it, and we can dust these tiny bird people out of here.
I don't think that we gnomes aren't as fragile as some of the other races. Like, we understand that things need to eat. Really, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we're going to persuade her. Like, something's getting killed at the moment, you know. And
I think I've made myself clear. I'm not against people. Everyone got to eat.
yeah,
Right? You got to eat. I got to eat.
I know. Yeah.
But I think there is a more sustainable way and a more friendly way to do this.
It's a more friendly way to do it for sure.
I think even if we just let half of them out,
I
I
mean,
think everyone's going to have a much better existence.
Do you think you'd be able to herd them out here?
I think I could summon something.
Well, let's go and get a measure of.
Sheepdog Thorinir.
Should we get a
Yeah.
measure of Fitfina? Because I don't like half the people in this town, and to be honest, I would help you. If Fitfina's nice, then maybe I'll change my mind. But at the moment, I think they're all stupid.
So you're walking into the spectacled wren.
Could I see
field.
above the spectacled wrens? I
You
was
can.
gonna walk through
Yeah,
that's all right,
you're
then.
twice the
I
size.
don't
of
want to
that.
get lost in there
Yeah.
if that happens.
So
With some arms like. "Ah!"
you're heading into the field.
The moment you realise that your galoshes, or the level of shit has gone over your galoshes, you're going to be making the same squawking noises.
Oh,
You'll be able to tell the difference.
So you're heading into the field.
I'll
Anyone
go
else
to the
heading
field.
in with Solon?
I'm going on my own. I'm not that accommodating. Anybody coming?
Well, pop in.
Go on, come
Go
in.
on, then.
This is back up.
I don't really want to walk through
Not the
the
most-
bird poo. I'd rather
Yeah.
be having a bath and a bed. But
It'll make your bath even better.
apparently so.
Yeah,
Fine, so
even
you're walking
better.
through.
Come on.
Back in, and you start to wander into this field. And after a not too long period, you're sort of halfway into this central machine. It looks like the light starts coming towards you.
and it looks someone's carrying this light, and it's not clear who they are, but yeah, they're carrying this huge, great light, walking towards you. So
Presumably, if a gnome, they'd be able to see in the dark.
Yeah.
Maybe she needs the colour.
Everyone's an imposter in this town. Very good.
She might need the colour. Maybe it's colour coded.
Maybe, I have no idea.
We can see black and white in the dark. Right?
Well, that's true, yeah. Very true. Wiring. You ever heard of wiring before?
No, I have no idea what you're talking
Probably
about.
no wiring.
He's
It's
a
harder,
witch!
to be honest. Hail!
So continuing forward, okay.
So be louder than that.
It is very loud.
Are they all awake? All the birds are still awake?
No, they're still going, yeah, banging on. Yeah.
Could you sleep in these
Yeah,
conditions?
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Do you understand everything they're saying the whole time, or do you have to turn it on and off?
So it says bum ba bum bum bum. Wait, even is it?
Not so many
It's just a thing, isn't it?
things.
Dum 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 dum. Beasts understand your speech. You can decipher a beast's movement and noises.
Okay.
You do not have to. Yeah, it doesn't mean friendship.
Okay, most of them are just saying close. That's maybe the main thing they're saying.
Not
Too
Andrew.
close! Really close!
Andrew!
Get away, Andrew!
You don't recognise Andrew anyway.
Oh.
So you head further and further in, and eventually you get within 40 or so feet of this light. There's this huge, great, bright turquoise light that you keep seeing glimmers of, because it seems to be that actually someone's got it mounted to their back. It's this huge, like backpack style, and they're about Zolan size. And they're wearing an eye patch, but that's about all you can make out from this distance, because they're just sort of wading through these birds with this giant, great, bright turquoise light on, which is emitting this this field of blue light across the spectacled wrens in the dark. And they're heading towards you, and they're still walking, and they're sort of gesturing, like, out of the field, like, you know, go back, kind of.
Covered in shit, I'll probably agree. Oh, but yeah.
So you're turning, and they're continuing to head towards you as well. This light
cool.
sort of approaching you.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So you can turn back,
Sounds about right.
and then you'll rendezvous. Eventually, you'll get to the edge of the field, and eventually, this gnome will shimmy over the fence, and you realise that they're wearing this huge, almost the same size as Zolan or this gnome themselves. This white-haired gnome, big, massive, great schnoz, an eye patch, and they're wearing this big sort of metallic gauntlets. They've got toeless, like almost bandage straps around their ankles and feet, that sort of strapping, and they've got a load of dark browns and khakis. They're wearing different metal bits and pieces all across them. There's great big heavy thick-set straps that are holding this huge transparent container that's on her back. And it's got these two big brass caps at the top and the bottom. It looks really heavy in the way that she's walking. And they're just covered in these screws and these cogs and these trailing cords. It's this weird, it looks so gnomish to you, but to you guys it just looks alien, this weird alien thing. And it's clearly containing some kind of bright turquoise liquid or gas, something in it moving, which seems to emit this large amount of vibration itself. She's sort of vibrating a little bit. The whole thing is shaking on her back. And it's, as she gets closer and closer to you, it itself is emitting this whirring, like almost like a lawnmower kind of sound, big whirring machine sound on her back, with that cacophony of bird squawks next to you. You've only just, but it's actually really loud. It's just being drowned out by the bird squawks.
Is she wearing ear defenders? Health and safety should be a priority.
She's not.
Here.
She's got huge great ears, though. Big gnomish ears. She looks of a similar age, you'd maybe estimate, to Zolan.
An ancient.
And
maybe Malcolm's not the only one getting pipped out.
she's got. There's lots of. It's a very
It's a very hard face. It looks weathered. The features are pronounced. You can really see every deep set frown mark and crinkle in her face. It's
Sound like your type.
Definitely, yeah. Just had years of anger. Yes.
Warped her face.
Hello!
Oh! Good lord.
Hello.
That was one of the birds.
You spend so much time with them, you forget them.
Oh, dear.
You got any wadding still in?
Speak up!
See, this is why you need PPE, everybody.
Hello!
This happens.
Hello!
Hello. Hello.
I'm Fipfina Genghis Toads!
Oh, well met. I'm Zolan
Hello, Zolan!
from the Third Little Hill.
Great to see you!
And you?
What are you doing here?
We've come to inspect the stabby, clawy beast murder machine.
Ah, the really big, hot, sharp, loud, moving beast harvester.
That's the one, yeah. Sorry. That's the one, yeah.
And nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet
Nice to meet
you.
you,
Pleasure as
Fipfina.
always. Pleasure as always.
What was your full name again?
Fipfina Genghis Toads.
What's that big thing glowing on your back?
The accumulator.
An accumulator.
Do I actually
What does that mean?
Do I know what an
And
accumulator is?
she's starting to sort of walk away from the field because it's just so loud there. It looks like
Yeah.
she's trying to get to a quieter area.
Do I know what an
Tilden doesn't seem to be
accumulator is?
jotting notes in a book as he's doing.
No
this.
problem.
It looks
Um,
like a phone, but he's just taking notes.
You can give me a let's say a history roll.
Do.
Do-do-do-do-do.
I do get pluses on history for something,
You got this.
but I don't know where I get
Plus
them
10.
on. Plus 10, so it's only a 13 at the Mo. What do I get for maybe not. History checks related to magical items. I can add twice my proficiency bonus to
Wow.
history checks relating to magical items, alchemical objects, or technological devices.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is 16.
Wow.
Turns into a
16.
16 now. Yay!
It uses 3 of the great gnomish powers.
Oh, which
Ooh,
one's
hello.
hot?
Hot,
Hot?
hot,
I've got them written down in my book. Yeah. I can't
hot
remember.
magic and wet.
Yeah, hot. Yeah. What was the fourth one again? Hot magic, wet.
Zolan's hot wet magic.
And was it wasn't brine or something like that? Was it? What was it?
Jesus. The fourth one.
I've got them written in my book.
Turning.
Oh, turning. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. What a construct! Have you made this?
Yes.
This is your design.
Yes.
Fantastic. You must have studied at the university,
I did.
did you?
Yes.
I dreams of the university.
Did you? Where are you
Did.
from?
The Third Little Hill. I said earlier on my introduction. You know the Third Little Hill?
Yes.
And where are you
You're
from?
one of those southern gnomes.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. We're all gnomes.
I was at the Engineers Guild.
Ooh.
The Resplendent Academy of Salvation.
Yes. I nearly went.
Resplendent and Splendacious Academy of
It is
Salvation.
resplendent and splendacious, you're right.
She's still walking sort of just into the town
Yeah.
generally. And I assume you're sort of following her. She's sort of
Oh,
walking
yeah.
slightly in front of you, unless any of you are making a particular effort to try and stay ahead of her.
I think that thing you've got on your back's licensed in some way. You can't just roam around with it vibrating like that.
It's the accumulator.
Yes. License? The
No.
others don't seem to mind the fact that you're wielding that thing?
No, sir.
Lovely. Good to know. Seems
Of all the magnificent things I've built,
What does it do?
the accumulator
Yes.
it powers things.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
She's still walking.
What you got, like powering tools? Is it like a little generator?
Yes.
What is it?
What are you doing here?
We're just passing through, in all honesty. We're looking for a place to stay. But,
You're not staying with me.
didn't
It's a bit forward,
I didn't
sir.
ask to stay with you.
It's a bit forward. You just met the lady.
They're all like this from the hills.
Yeah.
Perverts.
I knew it!
I knew it.
Where are you from again?
I'm from the north.
The North, yeah. What was your town?
I was at the academy.
Well, you ended up at the academy, was you? You wasn't born in the academy, was you?
No,
Oh, are you too afraid?
no.
Aww. Well, that's all it is. Say no more.
Still walking, just sort of powering through. And it's not a huge place. So eventually she sort of stops, and she stops right by this. It's in front of a building, and there's also this large thing covered with this big dirty sheet out the front. This big white, pale at least, because you've got the blue turquoise light illuminating the area. It's just this big old great thing, probably 10 foot by a few foot across, covered in this big old dirty sheet, and she just sort of stops, rests, puts her hand on it. It's a big metallic sound.
What do you want?
We only come to introduce ourselves.
Lovely to meet you.
And you? Do you like it here? Is this a nice place?
No,
You don't?
no, it's a hole.
Why don't you leave then?
I love this guy.
Because this is where I work.
Well, you can get a job somewhere else, you know.
No, you can't. Not when you're from the Engineers Guild. You have an assignment, and this is where you're placed.
Well,
You obviously never went to the splendacious Academy of Salvation,
I
did
didn't,
you?
but I've got the freedom to do what I want now.
Well, aren't you
that-
fantastic?
Now I am.
With all your freedom. And how much money have you got? You got no money, have you?
Don't actually.
I knew it.
I don't actually know. You're right. I'm penniless. I'm actually
I
penniless.
can tell.
Yeah, but that's I have.
State.
I know.
Look at that beard.
Do you know why I have no money?
Because you haven't got a job.
Because I looked after my friends. Do you have friends? No, you don't! All you've got is a bloody job! No friends. You are my friends, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's all right, thank you. Sorry.
You
Before
get
I,
there.
yeah, before I
Suck it
said
up.
anything. I was going to say about that.
I've got a friend.
Oh, have you are? Who's that then?
Grabs the sheet next to her,
no.
and she just whips it off.
What's this?
Check this out.
Well, this is your imaginary friend.
And it's this great big vehicle,
Oh, yeah.
big four-wheeled vehicle, and it's got this cylindrical brass front. It's quite magnificent, really.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
cylindrical brass front. It's got all sorts of canisters and little mini chimneys, and it's got seats, like a couple of front seats and then a few back seats, and this big steering wheel at the front.
This is my friend.
What do you do with your friend?
I want to drive it about.
But
we
want to. Why doesn't run?
It runs?
Does it?
Yes!
Would you like to show us? I don't believe it.
I can't. I have to stay here.
That's to stay here.
It's too fast. You'll be gone.
It's quite a little bit fast.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Like a Wardrox.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what a Wardrox is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
You should know them. The big cow thing, right?
Twice as fast.
Yeah.
Well,
Not that I know what a cow is.
yeah. What's a cow? Oh, well, yes. Was that in Villain? Were they herding them?
Hmm.
Yes.
No, that was a Maidlox.
Oh, Maidlocks. Yes.
Wardrox is like a lizardy,
Did we,
four
see,
legs, lizardy.
did we
Use them
see?
as beasts of burden.
Yeah, I think we've seen a whole convoy of those
Quite
potentially.
use them in Equa for
Yeah.
certain things.
Interesting.
I have a really important job.
What? Wading through shit?
I have
With
to.
your accumulator?
I have to maintain the really hot, sharp, and loud
I know, yeah.
beast harvester. It's a very important job.
Yes. You're a very important person.
What's wrong with it?
Broken.
What happened to it?
I don't know. It's broken.
Does it look like you can fix it?
I will fix it.
Maybe Zola can help.
He can't help.
What do you mean I can't help?
The amateur.
What do you mean amateur?
The amateur gnome
You haven't even-
from the hills. We all know what they say about gnomes from the hills.
Oh, well, Can't believe this. You're worse than the elves, you
Well,
are.
did you make it into the academy?
Well, I got cheated out of the academy.
Oh yeah, I heard it all before.
But you've got posh family that have bought your way into the academy.
No, I have not. You think I'm posh?
How did you pass the exam?
Cause I'm a bit. I got my smarts, haven't I?
Smart. You don't seem very smart. Having a friend.
Did you build this?
Well, you don't even run.
The carrying automobile rotator?
Well, the day that I see these up and down the streets of Aqua, I'll be impressed then.
I don't want to
Until
take
now.
them to Aqua. I want to drive them a boat.
Well, you drive it then.
I can't. I've got a really important job.
Yeah.
Silton's going to have a peep
Yeah.
inside and see if he knows how it turn on.
Sure.
You've got the wrong
So-
work-life balance, don't you?
Really?
It's got no
Does it
roof.
fit 4 people by any chance?
It probably would.
It's like a
It's-
wonderful getaway car.
It's
I
got
don't have the hot wire this late.
It's got no roof, so it's like a. It's got 2 sort of bucket chairs in the front, and then a longer bench at the back. It looks like sort of leather or some kind of upholstery on there. It looks quite nicely put together. It's very clean, unlike the dirty rag that's covering it. Very, very clean and polished. It looks like somebody's pride and joy. This very nicely constructed, kind of copper-coloured or brass carriage and hull, and then this sort of gold trim in and around the edging of all of it, and these different different canisters and bits and pieces. There is a great big obvious slot next to the steering wheel for something.
Key-shaped.
No, much bigger than that. Something cylindrical shaped. There's a very obvious slot with bits hanging out for it for an input of some nature.
Accumulator.
Maybe, for example.
Maybe.
Is it the right size? Hello. Sneaky, sneaky.
This might be fun.
Well, lucky for you, Fitfina, the whole Nexus is under inspection.
That is true.
Right now.
You've got the plague.
I've got a plague. It's not the plague, though. There's lots of people with the plague around here, but this is a plague.
Oh, you're gonna die.
Out of interest, the plague. What's the incubation time? What's the...
Well, they
How
all
soon-
died pretty quickly, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, no, I have a plague. I don't have the plague.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Keep your distance.
He's a friend.
I'll be like, look,
He's alright.
they just come
Oh.
off. I'll just pop it down on the floor.
What's your name, gnome?
My name's Zolan.
Zolan. Never heard of you.
I've never heard of you.
Well,
Why would you
I'm
heard of me?
Fifina Genghis Toad.
Well, Pepina, very nice to meet you.
He used to rig the machines in Shade Cap.
Oh, fantastic! What a career that is!
Thanks.
Bloody amazing that
Fell
is!
on hard times, alright.
Alright,
Fell
yeah.
on hard times. God,
Great.
you're a bloody joy, aren't you?
Yeah,
They say I'm bad.
yeah.
No, I thought you went to the academy.
No, I wanted to go to the
I thought you
academy.
passed your test with flying colours.
No, I got cheated out of my test. I was going to pass my test.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's me, but bloody cheated.
They all say, isn't
And he
it?
got in. It's only 1 or 2 people throughout the villages will get to go to the academy.
Do you know
It's,
Smeebo?
Smeebo.
Like nearly everyone gets to go from
Don't
near
listen to
the
her.
academy.
Filthy northerner.
Oh, we,
Dig hole! Get in there.
yeah. There's a bit of a better system up there, you see.
Yeah, money.
Down with the hills.
Aye. Well, I thought the hills sounded quaint.
Very quaint, yeah. Very quaint, on it?
Lovely now.
Can you imagine the look on his face if you took him out for a spin in that?
No.
No? I don't believe it runs, to be honest.
Don't believe it runs, cause it runs.
believe it runs.
Look what Emma did in the flipping spectacled Renfield.
Well, that monstrosity. There's no elegance in the whole construction.
Well, I agree
It's
with
just
that.
arms.
It's the first sensible thing you've said.
In all honesty,
And it broke.
I did break.
We haven't seen it working yet.
No.
Yeah, we were only here.
And
Well, it works.
we've had a chat to Fide and Rye because she said the bloody thing breaks every other day.
Oh, she didn't know what she's doing, does she, stupid
I don't
human?
know. That just sounds like bad design, that does, doesn't it?
I didn't design it. Just repair it.
Well, why didn't you improve it? Such a engineer.
Well, it's not my job. Why should I improve it?
Well, then she ain't gonna be out here wading through shit every evening fixing it.
I don't break every evening. Break sometimes. I haven't broken this bad for ages.
Maybe not.
No.
No.
Just as you turn up, actually.
Make it worse later. You never know.
You didn't try and use it, did you?
I didn't use it. No.
You couldn't use it. Toilet paper.
That is true.
The inside.
Yeah, that's true.
Ah. No, we haven't got
No, when
that
you use
level of
that
irrigation in
poison
the little.
itchy leaf.
Oh, did I? Oh, was that? Was that at Holmes' place?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very insane.
What do you want?
Well, he's just come to say hello. To be honest.
Were you strolling through the field?
I know. I wanted to see another gnome.
Well, that's very nice, isn't it? You must be very happy to meet me.
Well.
I'm a joy.
If it helps, I'm very happy to meet you.
Thank you.
No worries.
Oh, yeah. Bloody bundle of flowers you want.
Where have you come from, then?
Where have we come from? We've come from. Where have we just been? We've been up at Spetacasa.
Oh, yeah?
You ever been there before?
I have.
Yeah, that's a construction. You think this automaton
Ah!
thing you made?
Shush.
She looked in visible pain a moment ago.
Oh, you're right.
Yes, don't say that word.
What, Spetacasa? Construction? What? Which
Don't
word?
say that word.
Now.
Ah! Ow!
The
Don't say it.
The no.
Ah!
That's weird. What's wrong with
Ah!
About the bell.
I'm going away.
What's wrong?
And she just takes some steps away from you.
What's wrong with you? What's the matter?
Ow!
Oh no, I'm not
can't.
seeing it anymore. What's the matter?
Ow! Stop it. I can't talk about it.
Interesting. I think you may end up talking about this.
I won't.
I think we need to get some sleep, to be honest, I think, and then we're going to discuss about tomorrow's activities.
Maybe. How long ago were you at the place that you don't want to talk about?
I can't say anything about it.
Well, you can tell us.
I can't. It's on my knock crook.
It's on your what?
Ah, are you
You
being
spellbound.
prevented from speaking by any chance?
I can't say anything. It is on my knock crook.
And she.
Because Sylvan knew what that is.
No, but Zolan has a chance if you
Okay.
if you roll me a history, Zolan.
Do I get to add my double proficiency? Is this to do with alchemical objects, magical things, and
Yeah.
other things?
Yeah.
Sweet. Hey!
Wait.
Oh, not brilliant. It's 14. No, it's not. It's 13.
It does ring a bell. It's something to do with Splendatious Academy, but you're not completely sure what.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Damn. Why did I get cheated at the academy? Okay.
That's interesting. So we can just keep saying that all day and it just causes
I'm
physical
gonna
harm.
go away if you say it one more time.
We just follow you in your house, keep saying it.
Yeah.
Till you tell us what we need you to know.
Will you just bloody stop it? Don't know what you're doing.
You start by being a little nicer to us.
I am extraordinarily nice.
Especially to a southerner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Interesting.
You
You
only-
worked at Spetacasa. Who is?
Shut up!
What about the great cow? Do you know anything about the cow?
Shut up!
She knows everything. Would he not? Why is that not?
Do you
Ow!
know not?
No.
He's around the Nell sort of area.
And she's starting to back away.
It's really, really big. Full of people in white robes. You know the
And
guys.
she opens her door and sort of slams it behind and heads into her house.
Interesting. Did she bring the
So still
The
no
old-
back. Yeah.
bastard?
Zildon's gonna listen really, really closely to hear if she immediately takes it off. She'd be able to hear it hitting the floor, sure.
Yeah, give me a perception roll.
We don't need to sleep tonight, do we? I'm
No.
for everything. I can skip an evening.
Perception. Well, that's not amazing. Let's see what we do. Oh, it's a 14. It's not bad. Can you hear an immediate thump?
After 10 seconds or so, you do hear a loud, heavy noise that you might estimate would be the removing of
Might
that.
drop dead as well.
So either she's moved it after she's taken it off, or it's not too far away from the door.
How big is her dwelling? Big enough that she has rooms. She has a bedroom. She doesn't have like a studio.
It doesn't look gnome size, so you presume it wasn't necessarily made for a gnome per se. You know, it's the same sort of style, architecture as the other buildings in the area. It's modest. It's not that big. It's probably it could be a couple of rooms big. It doesn't look like it's gone upstairs.
What's the likelihood she's got some kind of alarm rigged up?
I would have thought she seems to be pretty. We can test that. I'll go and just give her half. What's that machine called?
Which one?
The giant
Big
zooming
motor vehicle.
motor. Yes.
Yeah, the carrying automobile rotator.
Yes, that one. I'm just going to go over and just, like test it for a car alarm. If she could have alarmed anything, this will be alarmed.
That's a good
So,
point.
well, I'll go over there and just give it. I'm not going to break it,
Yeah.
but I'm
Give
just
it-
going to
give it a
inflict enough movement
Smell
and
it.
energy that if there was going to be something that was a,
It doesn't
an alarm
seem
system,
to have any alarm.
I wouldn't
that's
assume my
triggering.
house has an alarm either. Then
Hey.
this seems to be her only friend. Oh, sorry for her.
When he was listening, did he hear a key in the lock? Presumably.
You didn't hear a key in the lock.
Actually, the door not much theft around here, maybe. That's about to change.
Interesting.
Give her a couple of hours to fall asleep.
I think so,
come
yeah.
Back, slip it in a bag, hope it doesn't vibrate, and away we go.
Yeah.
Just enough time to free Malkin from mortal peril and rescue these birds.
Oh, which order are we going to do it in? We're saying now we've got the getaway vehicle
The
now.
bird's got to be the last thing to do.
If we can get the getaway vehicle going, birds
It's going to be
meet
loud.
at the gate. So that, that's true.
I'm going to
Cool.
see if I can get the device.
I think we should.
But if I fail to get the device to power the vehicle, then we're going to have to get away anyway.
Yeah. She's old and slow.
I could always make sure she doesn't.
After as you stood there for a little while, sort of debating and
Quite
discussing
loudly outside.
quite loudly. After a short period of time, the Biddy's door just opens a little bit, and she pokes her head out. First time I think you've seen
Yeah.
her.
Right,
Yeah.
Seen her. Again, this beautiful long-haired
Wood elf?
female wood elf, which is the first time you've seen a wood elf of any type for a long period of time. Years. Literally years. And she looks across. Hi.
You're a wood elf.
Yeah, you too.
She is an imposter.
Where are you from?
From the wood elves.
These are lies.
Which settlement?
I'm from the White Forest.
Exactly.
Do I know?
There was probably an area called the White Forest.
Yeah.
It's a good guess.
Never been. Pretend that I know. But when did you leave?
A few years ago. Would you like to come a little closer?
Fine.
It's quite a long way across the street. What are you two sort of staying with the?
Immediately suspicious.
Sure. Are you following Thorinir closer, or are you staying with the car?
I'm probably I don't want Thorinir to get murdered and his sleep made into a pie, so
Well, Malcolm's already a pie.
yeah, Malkin's gone. We may
Yeah.
as well forget about him. He's
Yeah.
baked into a pie already.
I don't accept any food from this
Yeah.
woman.
Don't eat it, drink it, touch it.
Is it will be Malcolm?
But they did say earlier that people went in there and got away. We're kind of talking about this like in relatively hushed voices. They did say earlier people got
Admittedly,
away.
I was pretty blatant to her face when I met
Yeah.
about her deceit.
Why
and
is
her
she still being nice to you?
untrustworthiness.
I mean, how that gnome responded to you is how I expect most people to respond to you. So it was nice to see that happen in a way. But if you were that rude in her house, why is she still being nice to you?
Because it's bait, isn't it?
Trying to.
You got to feed these people something. Don't eat nuggets. Cannibals. Yeah.
It's nice to meet another wood elf.
So, was the blackening there?
I'm not sure.
Or just like pull back some sleeve? The blackening
Oh, the plague.
of the trees.
You taking to bed now, do you? All covered in this? Yeah.
I'm not sure. Are you okay?
I'm fine, but I heard others around here aren't.
No. The men had what you had
From where?
from. I don't know.
And you didn't see this in the forest
How long have you had that?
since birth.
Since birth.
It got a lot worse 3 years ago.
It was much shorter for the men here.
In my village, this took over the trees, the animals.
The same here.
I'll have to find the cause. This is the closest I've come. Getting
the-
bloody distracted.
The men, yeah, they got it and then died. Why didn't I take a look at it?
Presumably you buried them
Peel
all.
a bit off and kind of toss it over.
Yeah.
Where?
They were burnt. We were worried.
Okay.
Have you got a doctor around?
Of sorts. I'm a sort of like a druid.
Like a druid?
Yeah, not magical, of course. But
Of course.
yeah, I have some people use me as a healer.
What were your teachings in the White Forest?
You're onto it. I like this. Dig deeper.
We follow a wood elf deity, Rilithane.
And Rilithane's still with you?
I haven't seen him for a while.
Did you ever see him?
Maybe.
In the White Forest?
Maybe. You?
Never seen him.
Why don't we talk more? Come in.
I'm gonna... Do I believe her? That's not really a role thing, is it? I have no idea.
The reason a god has left her because prostitution is not a noble thing. That's why.
Well, God left me a long time ago.
Seisu though.
God never had me.
I've heard of Seisu, right? Seisu?
Say Sue,
I've heard of Seisu, yeah.
if you say so.
What's going on with old whatever she was called? Who we meet up at the administrator?
Baswald.
That's why she's implied that this was the first wood elf she'd seen. But yet here you are claiming to be a wood elf. What's going on with that?
I don't know.
Alright. Very
So
odd,
your
eh?
friend Zolan is a funny one.
He's a very suspicious chap.
I am suspicious of this lady.
I can tell.
Usually not without some reason. But I don't think he likes elves in general.
He has no need to be. There's nothing to worry about.
Everybody in the villages go see the biddy. Go see the biddy, or she'll love you. Yeah.
Well, I've made no secret of my intentions.
What are your intentions? My man here, Thorin, said he sprouted from seed. Out of the ground, not out of a womb.
In a way, we all sprouted from seed.
Yes, we did, yeah. From a way. Actually planted, potted. Beep, beep, beep.
I'm not sure why that's relevant.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Type of, she's after intercourse, I'm telling you. I've been up there, she got lotion.
don't know what these things are.
I mean, exactly. Nobody has lotion. That's made for freaking sex freaks. That is lotion.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you're talking about where wood elves come from, yeah. When the elders die, we become. They become a seed in the ground, and we grow from that seed.
You're from an elder.
Nurtured by parents.
Well, you want an elder. Turn into a seed like
The
a
elders
phoenix.
Yeah, that's what.
No
know.
way.
Unless it's some kind of silly story they tell kids.
No,
I don't think they'd.
no, they wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't do
I hope not. I hope they would have broke the illusion before you reached this age.
Well, I am, quite young for a wood elf.
Oh yeah.
I'm only 114.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's young to be fair.
Do you still believe in Father Christmas at 140? And the tooth
I
fairy?
don't, what do you mean still?
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to break that illusion either.
That is the one god that has stayed with me.
I trust your instincts. I don't like this. I think it smells fishy, but Thorny, you know wood elves.
Has
Do you
everyone
want- do you wanna-
not thought something is fishy?
That is true. He's a suspicious fellow. But I'm going to present a book of wood elf poetry. Have you seen this before?
Where did that come from?
This came from
It's from the Bastion,
the Bastion.
from Kendra's bookshop.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Some travelling wood elves came through. Do you know who they were? You ever been to the Bastion?
No.
Where have you been?
From the Wood Elf lands, I came here.
And what did you come across in between? Who did you talk to?
I saw there were some settlements and there were lots of a few elves, and everything was fine and everybody was happy. My partner at the time was there, and then he died, like everybody else.
Plague. Was he the first?
Yeah, I think he was.
That makes a lot of sense.
So this did come from the Wood Elves forest.
Well, maybe.
I've never known anyone else leave the forest before. There are stories of the ones we don't name.
Yeah, he wanted to leave and see what was threatening the forest so much.
So the forest was dying when you left.
Well, the elves were getting more and more aggressive and closer to our borders. And they started siphoning I have a lot of stories. If you'd care to come inside, Thorny.
Presumably you're now your way back south, back to your own people. What are you still
Yeah.
doing here?
I'm trying to help these people now. These are my family.
You've lived an awfully long time. Not a lot of it must have been spent in this village.
That's true.
Seems an odd, sudden bonding.
Well, I guess wood elves are a trusting people. We are quick to make friends.
You ever run across the Asai? Do you know how to get there from here?
The Asai, yes I do. But I've spoken a lot about serious things. I haven't seen. You might have seen the sign on the way in. I haven't seen men for many 10 days.
Why?
Because there are none here. None come through.
They're all dead
Yeah.
from the plague?
Yeah.
How come there are no women dead from the plague?
I don't know. I know many things. I know. Hang on.
Pretty sure Fallow's a man. Yeah, did you know that? Pretty sure that. Yeah. Pretty sure Fallow's a man.
Fallow is not a man.
I'm sure about that. Never known a woman just throw chicken. What's the game called? Chicken
Chuck.
Chicken Chuck. Yeah.
I know what's happening to the creatures in the hill. I know about a very secretive organisation that operate near here. I know about the sweet mines and how to make you the richest men in Asher. Or I have money.
Perception check. I think she's lying to us.
Mhm.
I think she's trying to lure us into her house to do something weird. Oh, that's a 6.
Yeah, you can't read her.
So what's to know about the animals?
Well, why don't you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
I'll scratch her back.
Sorry, I haven't been with Wood Elves for a while. Why don't you come inside and spend the night with me, and then I'll tell you what you need to know.
Okay.
It's nice. It's been nice knowing you, Thorin.
Thorny doesn't know anything about what that really means.
Well, I don't think it's my place to instruct you. This is either going to be a great experience for you, or you're about to be baked into a pie. Either way, it'll be an experience.
Well, I think we're about to find what we're looking for, right?
Is he going in alone? I'm not coming in, by the way. But
It'd be
that's the
weird if
case.
we all went.
I ain't going in. Yeah, I'm not going in.
So she's
Come on, Wood Elves are very accommodating people.
So again, she's going to take your hand. Yeah, this long green flowing dress, like lots of leg exposed, and this little bit of ivy running up each arm. This long blonde hair.
Is that a
Takes-
normal thing?
As normal as any wood elf. Most wood elves have some kind of plant life somewhere upon them. She's going to take your hand and lead you.
Just before he goes in, Sylvan
Yeah.
will be like, just dust the dust off him generally, and like look like he's going to do his beats. And as he's doing that, he's going to slip a dagger into your galoshes.
Yeah.
Into my gut.
Yeah, into your gut, into your galoshes.
I might fall out the hole in the bottom.
Yeah, or like fasten it to somewhere within your person, and just be like, you probably wouldn't need it, but it doesn't hurt.
Alright, and I'll give you the knowing look of been around a few years now. Out of the forest.
I'm going to tell the biddy that if you corrupt this man, I know 10 ways to end you, and this guy knows 1,000 ways to destroy you.
It is true.
And that is a definite threat.
She just strikes your beard.
That is a definite. I will smash that hand away. That is a definite threat. You freaking. If you come back with one bad thing to say about her, we're gonna murder her. We are. You're getting murdered. I'm gonna tell you now.
She's just
You are going to get murdered.
Smiling.
You are basically Norman Bates' mother.
I don't know who Norman Bates is, but I will. Yeah, that's who I am right now. I will accept who that is. I've become that person.
Come on, Thorny. And she leads you inside if you'll willingly go, and your friends don't stop you. And
I want to, but
with that, so as to not roleplay the next 30 minutes.
Roleplay.
this has happened. You've made this happen.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
Cut the lights.
How,
Cut the lights.
how amenable
Vigorous.
to advances will Thorinir be?
I'm going to be talking the entire way through, like
Sure.
asking about the forest,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
I probably won't realise, like, I think it's some kind of white forest
Yeah.
tradition or something.
Sure.
Probably won't think much
So
of it.
somewhat amenable.
We're not like prudes,
Yeah.
but we're, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Can you give me a performance roll?
Oh, I don't think mine's very good.
Oh no!
Well, it's +0.
It's gonna be good.
Can't I do animal handling? What authority is there?
Afraid not.
It's gonna be good.
It was. I can't even see. 4.
It's not bad.
Okay.
I've had one.
4 minutes.
Roll a d12.
The two of you, are you planning to stay up, or are you planning to try and go to sleep somewhere? You.
I'm worried. I think she's going to murder him. I won't be
Yeah.
going to sleep. Yeah, but I'm not staying close enough to hear what's going on.
Just remember the final words we left last episode on.
Trying to,
It was a
I think it was.
dusty.
I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah.
Remember. I like this.
Can't believe you've done this.
Because now I'm thinking of seed pods or something from Thorinir.
So.
I suppose we should go to sleep, but equally I agree with you. I
don't trust this woman
No.
one bit. I think I'm rather than now. I think Thorin is being tortured.
Is there a window that during this I can see out?
There'll be a
Look
window
at
in
my
here
friend
somewhere.
doing this.
Yes, there'll be a window
That's why
somewhere.
it's a 4. Why do you
Yeah.
keep looking at your friends?
For advice.
So, yeah, what would be your move at this point whilst Thorin is otherwise engaged?
Writing a eulogy, probably. Yeah, working on that.
We haven't exactly got anyone to sleep, so I suppose it's bedroll. Bedroll by the
We could
door.
talk. Yeah, I would probably broach the conversation of how we're going to steal this sweet rad
Should we just go and do that?
and formulate a plan.
We've got
But
time.
we need a bit of Malcolm, but yeah. Oh yeah, to be honest, we can. I think we should. Yeah, while he's on there, let's see if we can steal the accumulator.
Probably give her enough time to fall
Yeah,
asleep.
I think so.
I imagine she's out like that.
4 minutes,
If not, 5 minutes.
straight to sleep.
Okay, so do you want to give me are you trying to...
Yeah, we'll have a little poke around.
Yeah.
So you're attempting to open the door.
Unless it's obviously trapped. Yes.
I won't be. I don't think it'll be trapped.
Make the assumption that I'm checking for obvious traps.
Okay, so you can give me an investigation roll.
Investigation. I will
What
help
for obvious
you.
traps? I don't want to do too many rolls because the averages are mint. It's a powerful 1.
Okay.
For
I was going to
investigation.
help you. I'm
Yeah, you forget to look for traps.
Oh, if you're going to help me, do I
You
get
set
to roll
a
with
trap
advantage?
for Zola.
Yeah, you sort of forget the concept that a trap is even a thing, briefly.
But it's alright if Zolan's helping me.
Oh yeah.
For
Oh yeah. I will be
investigation.
looking. Yeah. We're in an operation. Yeah. I'm not going to be
Yeah.
stood around like.
Yeah.
So I can roll with advantage. So don't
Yeah.
worry, I rolled with advantage and I've got a 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
With a
no
plus?
idea.
nailed it. No, that's it.
I'll do the investigations next time.
Yeah. Cool.
You're just so distracted by the thought of Thorin.
Still hear it in the background.
I wouldn't have thought there's any traps.
So I'm stealthing in, right? That's
Yeah.
what you want?
So you try the door handle.
Or do you want me to sleight of hand? You can do either.
Well, you can try the door handle
Yeah.
to see if it's locked. It is not locked.
Sweet. In we go. Stealth.
Give me a stealth roll.
Hit me with your big
Are you going as well?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
okay.
I'll be at door watching.
It's an
But
18.
I'll be
Okay.
I'll be awkward.
So you go in and you can hear who you assume to be Fitfina busying herself in an adjacent room. She's probably only 10 to 15 feet away from you, but just sort of out of sight through a doorway, an open doorway. But you can see the accumulator there in sort of this porchway in front, 10 feet in front of you.
It's too big to get in a bag. It's a big old thing.
It's
Isn't
the size of Zolan.
Sweet.
What is his actual dimensions?
So it's
do you think?
like 2.5 foot tall,
yeah.
and then let's say just over a foot, probably about a foot wide, in diameter all around.
I'm gonna throw you the bag. It'll go in the bag.
Will it?
The bag. It'll go in the bag.
Sweet. Get a bag.
Yeah.
Put it in bag.
Fine, it's heavy. When you pick it up, you realise it's a proper two-handed
It's
job.
quite gaunt as well.
It's,
not very thick.
I won't make you roll, but you wouldn't be able to wield anything else.
Yeah.
You'd be fully putting all your effort into lifting it into the
Slip it in
bag.
the bag. Heave it into the bag.
You pop it into the bag,
Yeah.
and you can hear you get the feeling she's not far from. She's a lot of movement. Any second she could appear around that door.
Quick glance around for anything obvious that's valuable.
Perception.
So overstay, you're welcome. The knife's going to come out now.
17.
Oh.
17. There is a little purse on the side, the opposite side of the room to where Fitfina is.
Oh, opposite side.
So it's
further away
beyond
from the door?
her.
Oh, it's beyond
So
her.
you'd have to go past her, yeah.
No way. He's going to head back out his door.
No problem. So you manage to do so, and then you hear, what was that? just as you're leaving, but you're comfortable that she didn't see you.
Sweet.
And you carefully
She's really
shut that door.
hard of hearing, isn't she?
Run to the other side of the village. Run!
And how will you finish your night?
Setting fire to our house.
Be frickin' no evidence.
No
No
evidence.
witnesses.
No, she didn't see it, so it's
Yeah.
fine. If she'd seen me, then
Yeah, I was like,
this is going to be a very different story.
Well,
How are we going to end our night? We need someone to bed down.
we do need someone to bed down, yeah.
And we need to be, like, out quickly, because we're going to
Ideally,
rescue him.
we need to be out at dawn.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need to be,
Pre-dawn.
almost the cover of darkness to get this, when it's quiet enough to get this machine going.
So we're
And be
sleeping
gone.
in shifts, right?
Yeah, I think
So we're
so.
going to sleep in shifts.
I'm okay because I'm fully rested, so I can do shifts. Yeah,
Cool. So we're sleeping in shifts somewhere out of sight.
yeah.
So you
Would be.
tenting?
Well, yeah, probably bed rolling, as long as it's not. It's
Yeah.
a golden spell, right? It's nice.
Yeah, it's a little chillier because it's night time. So
We've got
but-
bed roll
yeah, if you cozy up,
up against the wall somewhere,
sure.
not in obvious sight.
Yeah,
And then, yeah,
it's quite loud out here. But the birds do seem to be quieting down actually since
yeah,
Fitfina has moved away from them.
okay.
There seems to be a general quieting down from the birds.
Have a bit of kip. Save these two from all peril.
Yeah,
In the machine we go.
get out of here.
No, then birds. Then out of here.
Yeah, that's right. But then gone.
Okay.
Oh, we'll be in
Maybe just
the
need to
Osai in no
driving,
time.
driving into the fence.
Through the bird. Birds flying up.
So you're gonna bed down.
Yeah.
Take half the night. We'll take it in turns.
Yeah.
And that is where we will leave tonight's session.
While we're doing that, can I at the end of the session anyway? But during those periods at which I'm kind of watching, is there any point I can do some form of investigations to get familiar with this construct before we need to use it? I'd rather just like
Sort of
for
study.
every half an hour, like looking over it and trying to be
Having a
familiar. So when we get to the machine, hopefully, if I see a prong
Yeah.
with a plug, I'll be like, oh, okay, there. I need to plug this in here. Try and be relatively familiar with it.
I'm fine with that. You're going to spend your night studying it. in
Yeah,
effect.
yeah.
Working
Pop
it
a
out.
wheelie out of there.
You
Oh
are.
God!
As Zolan, your expertise in this type of thing,
Yeah.
I will count in allowing you to do so. And we will leave the session there.
Oh, lovely!
The user manual.
Oh,
And
the car.
um,
Gary automobile rotator.
thank you very much, guys, for playing this evening. We will be back next week. We haven't got Malcolm next week either because he is away. So
Oh no! Well,
it'll be the four of us again.
He's going to be left in mortal peril.
We left
yeah.
this-
Sorry, Malcolm,
Yeah.
you are here
So-
now.
The peril is too perilous.
The car is too valuable. Malcolm, you're gonna have to stay behind because we
Actually
need the
got
car. Well, not
Is
yet.
that what that is?
No, not yet. Not yet. Maybe
Are there enough seats for Malcolm?
you can just hang on back.
I'm sorry, if
Um,
we get a car, that'd be the best.
It's called the Carrying Automobile Rotator, the CAR.
We've been die rolling. We will see you. Presumably, everyone will be of good health. In which case, we will
Hopefully
be
so.
here next week.
Cue
Everyone
Top Gear
have
sound.
have a lovely weekend week and weekend, everyone, and we will see you next Tuesday. We have been Die